finna watch Amy on this virtual thing.
The person under DP, stop unmuting your mic. We muted it for a reason. Keep it muted or get out of the hearing.
Okay, sorry.
Kick them out. Kick them out.
Where you want these?
All right, all right. Welcome back to a brand new episode of You Have a Collect Call From. Where are we today? We are in Polk County, if you will. Polk County. We're just waiting for them to start it up. We're on the silence right now. You see, I was in the middle doing something. Hold up. Okay. How is everybody doing today? What's up? I think this is Kella coming in from Texas, if you will, from Texas. You see right here. What up? What's up, Miss Tasmanian Devil? Hey, what up, No Face? Thank you. Highly appreciate that, if you will. See here. Thank you for the daily heart. Highly appreciate you guys. Daily hearts are not required, but they are highly appreciated. Hey, what's up, Frank? How's it going? All right, I'm just making some changes right now. Hey, what up, Kim? How's it going? As you guys can see, the Teams meetings just started. I leveled up. That's right. Hell yeah. Good looking out. It looks like there was some ruckus in the background. They were going off on somebody because they didn't turn off their mic. So I think it's gonna be the feet judge, if you will. You see, I love watching this. Why I do dishes makes me realize dishes ain't so bad. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Hey, we're on the same wavelength right there. That's what I say. I'd rather be on the streets. I'd rather be in the calles, listening to my wife tell me to do dishes, mop, sweep, make my bed, fold my clothes, than being in jail having somebody else tell me to do that, some other man. Like, and to be sold up with another man. I'd rather be sold up with my wife, if anything. Think about it. If you really think about it, look, would I rather be committing crimes, possibly giving up my freedom, and having all these ridiculous rules from the prison administration and from the convict population, or would I rather be home listening to my wife? I'll take option number 2. But that's just me, you know. I know there's other people be like, screw that. I'd rather be locked up in a cell with a man. Hey, shit, different strokes for different folks, homeboy. Hell nah. It's just lock me up with the wifey, if you will. Thank you for the repost. Highly appreciate it. Highly appreciate it. If you will. Man, I can't believe as a kid that I was willing to risk it all, if you will. But now, no way, no how. No way, no how. All right, we got somebody on the camera right there. Peekaboo.
I see you, Gift.
Oh. Looks like a juvenile.
Do we have the Portugal interpreter on?
That's good.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The Portuguese interpreter is here.
Damn, what's up with your voice, lady?
Yes, ma'am. We should be starting shortly. I'm just wanting to make sure you're on.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna
Sorry for
mute.
my voice.
It's
Damn.
No problem. I'm gonna mute the mic now.
Hey, what up, Captain? Can't see anything. Oh, yeah, I mean, you can't
Good
see anything.
afternoon. This is Tony. We also have a
What?
Alex Moise for a Creole case.
What up? Let me see. 5587. What up, Jessica? And what up? I am Jax and Maria. If you will, highly appreciate you guys. Highly appreciate you. If you will, let me see. I still gotta make some changes over here. Let's hold up. I need to make what changes do I need to make? What up, Emily? How's it going? I gotta do something. Oh yeah. Somebody was complaining they couldn't see nothing. Hold up. The stream hasn't even started yet. It's not even 10 yet. It's 9:59. Let me see right here. Microsoft Teams. Bam. There we go. You happy now? Can you see now? Hey, what up, Pearl? If you will. What up, Emily? What up, DMC? Hell yeah. Where's everybody coming in from? Hey, I went to the gas station today. I went this morning to what was it? Costco. $4 and some change on gasoline. I almost spent $60 on filling up my car. I think it was either like 12 or 13 gallons, if you will. It was an outrage coming in from Washington, D.C. That's right. Maryland in the house. We got Autumn. Hell yeah. Hey, thank you, Jose, for that daily heart. Highly appreciate you. What do you guys think? Damn, if this dude right here, right? So this is a kid right here. If he's in adult jail, it's probably something serious. Let me see. We got Maine, we got Michigan, we got Cleveland, Ohio. Hell yeah. Let me see. It's 130 per tank every 3 days. 130. Sheen Gators. Goodyear, Arizona. Las Vegas, writes Danny King. Hell yeah. That's right. Sin City in the casa. Can I get a yeah. Hell yeah. Let me see. I drive diesel and it's 7:30. Yeah, diesel is expensive. It's an outrage. It's 6 p.m. in the UK. We got Fresno, California in the casa. Let me see. Is that why you're wearing green? Because he's a kid. Yeah. I believe so. Don't call me on that. I've never been in jail in Polk County, but he looks really, really young. Super young. I don't know anybody from Polk County care to share some knowledge from behind bars. We got San Diego in the house too. It's T.I. son. Damn, imagine. She Gators. You know what? Let me finish up my breakfast right now. That before court starts right now. You want to see him? You say? Oh, hey, Tati, thank you, highly. I mean, not Tati, Tati, highly appreciate that. You guys over here trying to look at him like he's a zoo animal. He's a human being, damn it. That made the wrong choice. How old do you guys think he is? Green is mental health, writes Tampa Bay. Nah, he's a juvenile. This kid, he's a kid. Look at him. I was super young. He must be. No, he's underage. He has to be underage. I don't know what he did, but we're about to find out. Mic check. All right. About to start. Let me fix everything up. You see, they say he's a juvenile.
Yeah, let me see.
Good afternoon, this is Judge Gibson. Is our Portuguese interpreter on with us?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay,
Can you
please,
hear the interpreter?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
My apologies. Can you hear the interpreter?
A little bit. All right.
We can hear a lick of what that lady's saying. Of course she did. What did she didn't find it?
Okay, yeah.
Hello.
Because I'm not sure how that's gonna work today, okay?
Did you lose your voice?
All right,
I
well,
can try my best.
try her
Well,
best.
Unfortunately, it's rather a lengthy thing we have to get through. We have to get through all the instructions and everything else. So it would probably be better, Ms. Cadenas, are you on the line, does it look like?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
I think for Mr. Jose Dominguez Scaramucci, we're going to have to bring him back tomorrow.
Okay.
Unless you have another suggestion.
No, I mean, we can, it is a lengthy speech, Ms. Davis. So
Okay.
I can see if I can get one of the other Portuguese interpreters. Okay.
That would be ideal. Good idea.
Tomorrow.
Sincere apologies.
Oh, no
What's
worries,
up, Aro?
you can't help it. All right.
What up, Chad?
Thank you very much. I hope you feel better.
I hope you feel better.
So, Ms. Cadenas, are you suggesting we bring him back tomorrow, Mr. Jose Dominguez Scaramucci?
Yes, I would have to reach out to the other two Portuguese interpreters and find out if they are available.
All right. I just, without being able to have the interpreter speak, I just don't know what else we could do, okay?
A lot of times they understand some Spanish just for a limited purpose. Can I just let him know that he will be brought back tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am, that'd be great.
Okay.
Your Honor, I did ask him, and he says he knows a little Spanish.
Okay,
No
well,
Nintendo.
We'll have Ms. Cadenas try to tell him he's going to be brought back tomorrow.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Dominguez.
You know, look, come on, like that interpreter. She knew she didn't have a
Yes.
voice.
Buenas
Nobody
tardes,
can hear
señor
her.
Domínguez. Desafortunadamente, la intérprete que habla portugués está enferma, perdió la voz, no se le oye muy bien, así que tengo que contratar otro intérprete para mañana y lo traerán mañana de nuevo a la 1. Lo siento mucho.
Posso falar um pouquinho do espanhol?
I can speak a little bit of Spanish. No es suficiente.
All right, we'll see him tomorrow. Thank you.
Lo veré mañana. Oh, muy bien.
All right,
Tomorrow.
we're going to start our docket, and I know that we have Ms. Cadenas. as
What up, Brand?
present,
What up,
our
Lisa?
Spanish interpreter, and Mr.
What up,
Boyce,
Cha-Cha?
our Creole interpreter. If you could please raise your right hands. Let me start with Mr. Moyes. Mr. Moyes, do you swear that you will truly and correctly translate English into Creole and Creole into English here today?
Happy. For the record, Alex Moyes, certified court interpreter.
Thank you. Ms. Cadenas, do you swear that you will truly and correctly translate English into Spanish and Spanish into English here today?
I do, Your Honor. Antonia Godinez, certified Spanish interpreter.
Thank you. We're going to start today, and I'm going to ask that first our Spanish interpreter translate, and then following the Spanish interpreter, that our Creole interpreter translate, and that's how we proceed, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
That's all.
Nah, this is
Good
Polk
afternoon.
County.
This is your first appearance
Thank you,
here,
Kelly.
and I'm Judge Gibson.
I just got it in the mail.
Buenas tardes. Esta es su primera comparecencia y soy la jueza Gibson.
Bon après-midi, c'est pour la première fois qu'on va comparaître devant un juge. C'est juge Gibson.
A first appearance hearing has 4 purposes and 4 purposes only.
Primera comparecencia tiene 4 propósitos y solo 4 propósitos.
Présent qui sont comparaître pour la première fois devant un juge, il y a 4 raisons. Et 4 raisons seulement.
First, I will advise you of the charges that have been filed against you.
Primero le informaré los cargos que se han presentado en su contra.
Premièrement, on va connaître les accusations gain contre vous-même.
Second, I will ask if you have an attorney representing you.
Segundo, le preguntaré si ya le está representando un abogado.
Deuxièmement, on va demander est-ce qu'il y a un avocat qui représente vous?
If you've hired counsel and they are present, they will speak on your behalf.
Si ya usted contrató abogado y este se encuentra presente, entonces será el abogado quien hable en representación suya.
Si vous déjà pris un avocat, la présent et la parler pour vous.
If your attorney is not present, you will have the option of proceeding forward with your hearing today or postponing it until tomorrow.
Si su abogado no se encuentra presente, usted tendrá la opción de proceder con su audiencia hoy o posponerla hasta mañana.
Si l'avocat n'est pas présent, il y a une opportunité soit que vous poursuivez avec procédure là, je dis pour tout, ou bien vous capable de renvoyer pour demain pour qu'il y ait un avocat.
If you postpone the hearing, it is your responsibility to contact your attorney to let them know you will have court. No one else will do that for you.
Si usted decide posponerla, será su responsabilidad contactar a su abogado para hacerle saber que tendrá una audiencia. Nadie más hará esto por usted.
Si vous décidez pour renvoyer cas jusqu'à demain, c'est responsabilité pour les avocats pour faire
Ash, thank you. Highly appreciate you.
demain. Personne ne peut faire ça pour.
If you wish to move forward without your attorney present, we can do that.
Si usted desea proceder sin su abogado, podemos hacer esto.
Si vous décidez pour poursuivre sans que l'avocat n'est pas là, nous sommes capables de faire ça.
If you
Hey,
do not have an attorney,
any
I will ask
any
if
day
you
I'm not
can
in
appoint
jail,
one.
it's
If
always
so,
a
we
good
will
day
make
in my
note of
book.
that and move on. And if not, and you qualify, I can provisionally appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, pending you filling out an application.
Si usted desea proceder, si usted no tiene abogado, le preguntaré si puede pagar por uno. Si usted puede, tomaremos nota de esto y procederemos. Si no puede y califica, pues le asignaría provisionalmente la oficina del abogado de oficio para que lo represente.
Premièrement, par mandat, si vous êtes capable de propre avocat par vous. Si vous êtes capable, donc vous êtes capable de les avocats. Mais si vous n'êtes pas capable, vous êtes capable de demander si que vous avez que le juge là mettez un avocat provisoirement pour représenter selon si que
Hey, what up, Hector?
vous avez une possibilité pour avocat représenter.
You have a right to have your attorney present before and during any questioning.
Usted tiene derecho que un abogado esté presente antes y durante cualquier interrogatorio.
Vous avez tout droit pour un avocat qui est présent, qui attendait à parler pour vous durant le questionner ou pendant ou même avant que questionner pendant tout le temps.
Third, if there are any challenges to probable cause, I will address those.
Tercero, si hay alguna objeción en cuanto a motivo fundado, estas se abordarán de inmediato.
Et troisièmement, c'est que si pas si aucune raison pour yo capable de questionner cause probable, moi-même,
What up, Tammy?
c'est ça.
It sounds like it.
Finally, I will review your bonds and/or other release conditions with you to determine if any changes are necessary.
Finalmente, voy a
Hey, thank you,
revisar
Tony,
los
for
asientos
sharing the
y
live stream.
otras
Highly appreciate you.
condiciones de liberación con usted para determinar si es necesaria cualquier modificación.
Hey, what up, is Nicole?
Ma prévisé question de bon et aussi est-ce que des libertés conditionnelles capable de mettre pour et déterminer s'il n'y a aucun changement qui peut faire.
Appreciate you guys.
Be aware if this court places you on pretrial release today, regardless of whether it is straight pretrial release or a condition of your bond, the conditions announced in court today go into effect immediately, meaning even while you are in custody.
Debe saber que si el juez lo pone hoy bajo libertad condicional, independientemente de si es directamente o como condición de su fianza, las condiciones que se anuncien hoy en esta audiencia estarán en efecto de inmediato.
Nous connaît que si que finalement une liberté conditionnelle qui est faite, c'est que ce soit que liberté conditionnelle ou condition sous bon, il la guerre, liberté conditionnelle ou condition yo commencer immédiatement à partir de première.
For example, if you're told to have no contact with a certain person and you call that person from the jail before you are released, you are in violation of pretrial release.
Esto sería aunque usted aún esté encarcelado. Por ejemplo, si se le ordena no tener contacto con determinada persona y usted llama a esa persona desde la cárcel antes de salir en libertad, usted estará violando su libertad condicional.
Par exemple, si vous mettez sur liberté conditionnelle et vous n'avez que Dieu pour pas faire,
What up, Liam?
c'est que pour pas contacter victime non, et que pendant ou là, vous contactez victime non, ça veut dire que vous violez liberté conditionnelle.
Is that French?
Throughout this entire process,
Regina,
have
thank
the
you.
constitutional right to remain silent. If you choose not to remain silent, anything you say can be used against you.
Durante todo este proceso, usted tiene el derecho constitucional de permanecer en silencio. Si decide no permanecer en silencio, todo lo que diga podrá ser usado en su contra.
Durant toute procédure, ça yo, ou gen tout droit constitutionnel pour rester en silence. N'a faut connaître que si que ou dit on bagay, ou pas rester en silence, ça que ou dit yo capable de servir avec contre ou même.
Everything that is being said where I'm
What up,
located,
Qantas?
as well as where all of you are located, is being recorded. There's an assistant state attorney listening to everything that is being said, present in the courtroom with me today. So do not say anything about the crime itself.
Todo lo que diga podrá ser usado en su contra. Todo lo que diga donde yo me encuentro, así como también
Danny, thank
donde
you for the
usted se
repost.
encuentra, está siendo grabado. Hay un abogado de la fiscalía presente escuchando todo lo que se dice. Así que no diga nada sobre el delito.
Que ce soit côté mieux, il y a un enregistrement qui a fait, ou bien que ce soit côté où hier, il y a enregistré tout ça capable de dire. Donc, n'a dit que pour le moment, pas dit.
We're in Polk County,
Ni
Linz.
qui crime qui te commettre parce qu'il attendait. Mon avocat l'État qui chita là avec moi, il attendait tout ça que Wad dit. Et ça vous dit, il est capable d'utiliser le contre vous-même dans le cadre.
Please keep these rights in mind as we go through this process and step forward as soon as your name is called.
Por favor, tenga presente estos derechos durante el transcurso de este procedimiento. Cuando llame su nombre, pase al frente.
If everyone can,
Rappelez que tout ça que nous disons là.
Man, it's gonna be a long day today.
Et une fois que nous citons, approchez.
if everyone can please stand up, raise your right hand, and answer out loud to the following question.
Todos, por favor.
Tout
Go
le
ahead,
monde
Mr.
frappez,
Police.
levez les droites nous, et nous partons de fermenter.
Se pongan de pie para dar juramento.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you provide today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Est-ce que vous jurez que témoin du pendant là, je dis à là, c'est la vérité, toute la vérité, il y a d'autres que la vérité.
Todos juran y afirman que el testimonio que van a proveer hoy será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. Respondan en voz alta.
Please answer out loud.
Yes.
¿En voz alta? Yes.
Répondre fort.
Everybody who answered yes out loud may have a seat. If you did not answer yes out loud, please remain standing and we will address you.
Todos los que respondieron. Okay. Todos los que respondieron sí en voz alta, siéntense. Si no contestaron, entonces permanezcan de pie.
Tout le monde qui répond oui, yo met chita. Si que au monde pas répondre, il doit rester campé et puis il n'a pas de rester calme là.
All right, I see everybody is sitting. Let's start with Jean Preseau.
On a commencé avec Jean Prézot.
All right, Gene, come on down.
Right there, black line.
Sir, you're charged with battery. Would you like for me to appoint a public defender to represent you?
Monsieur, il a accusé de agression. Est-ce que tu as même un avocat de la défense publique qui pourrait présenter?
Yes.
Yes.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case.
Moi, provisoirement, un avocat de la défense publique qui pourrait présenter dans le cas ça.
I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge.
What's up, Supper Row?
Moi, révisé le rapport de que l'heure été arrêté là et moi, joindre que des causes probables pour accuser.
In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release
What up,
with bail's
Smoggy?
condition of pretrial release.
Dans le cas ça, moi, pas la
What up, Gail?
conditionnelle sous et mes conditions.
Your bail is set at $3,000.
Je mettais un bon et caution sous de $3,000.
Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in person in Bartow.
Une fois que la guerre, il faut qu'on aille dans le département liberté conditionnelle là, pre-trial release, en personne dans Bartow.
at 1745 South Highway 17 in Bartow.
What up, Heather?
Dans 1745 South Highway 17, ici à Nambato.
Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 3 times a week, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Et après ça, il faut que vous rapportez chaque semaine, 3 fois par semaine. Lundi, mercredi, vendredi.
You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition,
Thank
or
you, T.
knives.
Maria.
Vous pas de gagner sous aucune arme du tout, que ce soit arme à feu, que ce soit revolver, que ce soit couteau ou rien du tout.
Additionally, you're prohibited from having any contact with the victim.
En plus, vous pas de gagner aucun contact du tout avec victime.
You cannot contact the victim directly or indirectly.
Vous pas capable de contacter victime ni directement ni indirectement.
You cannot contact the victim in any manner whatsoever.
Vous pas de contacter victime dans aucune manière du tout.
You must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim, the
Yep.
victim's residence, vehicle, place of employment, and school at all times.
Il doit, à tout temps, il doit rester à 500 pieds de distance de victime là, de cas victime là, de travail victime là, de l'école victime là.
Thank you, sir. Please step to your
Merci,
left.
monsieur. Je terminé.
Yeah,
Voilà,
I
à
got your
gauche.
question. I got your question.
I have a question.
He has a
Sir.
question. Tiene una pregunta.
Parle créole.
Ok, mta reme konen pou ki sa yo charge m $3,000.
I would like to know why my bond has been set for $3,000.
I'm not going to get into that with you. That is what it is set at.
Moi, pas
Thank you.
discuter par ça avec vous, c'est ça que je dis.
Thank you.
Okay,
Please step.
that way, that way.
All right, the next case requiring
What do you think this
requiring
is?
the services of the Creole interpreter is Ovenor Elise.
So it's Creole. They're speaking Creole, if you will. That's why it sounds like French.
Alice,
Nah, this is not Cali. This is Polk County, Florida, in the state of Florida, if you will. If you didn't catch that, Polk County, Florida.
Moment. All right, sir, you were charged with.
Where is he? I don't see him.
attempted murder in the first degree.
Monsieur, il a accusé ou que ou font attentat de homicide au premier degré
With a weapon.
avec aux armes.
Additionally, you have an ICE detainee.
What are my lights, Page? My
Et en
lights,
plus,
Peachy.
vous gagnez ICE qui dit pour yo kembe ou.
Would you like for me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this case?
Dans le cas ça, est-ce que tu as même pas un avocat de la défense publique qui pourrait représenter ou?
Oui.
Yes.
I provisionally appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this case.
Moi, pas un avocat de la défense publique provisoirement pour représenter ou dans le cas ça.
I have reviewed the arrest warrant and the complaint affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charge.
Moi, révisé affidavit que je t'ai arrêté là et moi, joindre que j'ai bonne raison pour je t'ai arrêté tout le monde.
Hey, I wouldn't want to end up in ICE right now.
The state attorney is at the lectern in front of me, and I assume once. the
T. Maria,
charge-
thank you.
Moi, ouais, que,
Right now, you end up in front of in an ICE detention center. You're gambling with your life. You're playing
You can
Russian
please,
roulette,
note
if you
your
will.
appearance.
Assistant State Attorney Colin Nakagawa for the record.
Ça, c'est avocat de l'État, là, pour mettre sur le dossier.
State would be requesting,
Mais ça, l'État mandé.
based on this being a first-degree felony punishable by life,
Thank you, Jen.
Ça, c'est une accusation que you're capable de voyer ou dans prison pour toute vie.
that the defendant be held no bond.
What up, Christopher?
De doit kembe accusé sans que vous pas mettez un bon sur lui.
And nowadays, you don't even have to break the law anymore. You could just be walking down the street and get snatched up. Shit, you could even be an American citizen and get deported nowadays.
Mr. Olise,
Ça, c'est
Because-
avocat de la défense publique là pour M. Hollis.
because the state is relying upon the constitutional basis for no bond.
Parce que l'État a pas utilisé la Constitution, n'a dit que il n'y a pas de mettre un bon sur lui.
I have no legal basis to object.
Moi, pas gagné aucune base légale pour moi objecter contre ça.
However,
Néanmoins,
that issue can be raised at a later time by his attorney.
nous capables de venir avec question ça plus tard si avocat personnel lui voulait pour parler de ça.
All right, Mr. Elise, at this time, I'm going to grant the state's request and hold you no bond. So you're to be held no bond, and you will go before the judge who is assigned to this case later on to determine whether or not that status should remain the same or not.
Comme Monsieur Alice, comme
What up, Drea?
aucun bon sur vous, m'appelez Kembéou sans bon, jusqu'à ce que vous apparaître devant le juge là qui est assis un poucar et est capable de déterminer si oui ou non il est capable de mettre un bon sur.
I'm not sure if Fort Lauderdale. Most likely they do. Mostly all of Florida has live streaming, if you will, but I can't confirm or deny that.
Okay.
What is it they want me to do with that? I don't know. I just have to let you know that there's a more with conditions.
Okay. All right, sorry, Mr. Moyes. And,
JJ, nah, it's just the first few
all right,
cases,
thank you, sir.
the ones that need interpretation, if you will.
Except your left.
Once they're done with that, we'll go ahead and get on with the Englishization,
All right,
if you
the
will.
next case- My understanding is that's all of the cases that require the services of the Creole interpreter, but Mr. Moyes, can you please make an announcement?
Absolument, Your Honor. Bon après-midi tout le monde. Est-ce qu'il y a aucun monde là qui veut
Broward County does too,
qui
yep.
apprête créole encore?
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You as well. Let's go into the cases requiring the services of the Spanish interpreter. The first one is Victor Andrade Aguilar.
Víctor Andrade Aguilar.
Come on down to the Price is Wrong, Victor.
Sir, you're charged with resisting an officer without violence as an unauthorized alien enhancement.
Señor, tiene usted un cargo de resistirse a las autoridades sin violencia, con una incrementación del cargo por estar indocumentado o estar sin autorización.
You additionally have an ICE detainer.
Y además tiene usted retención para inmigración.
If I didn't have any
Would you like
papers,
for me to appoint the
Florida would be the last place I would ever step
on
foot in.
the resisting officer without violence charge.
Señor, ¿usted quiere que yo le asigne un abogado de oficio para que lo represente?
So in Florida, they give you an
por el
extra
cargo de
charge for being
resistirse
illegally
a
and
las-
illegal
a
inside the
un oficial
country, if
sin
you will, or in the
violencia?
state of Florida.
Okay.
Is that a yes?
Punishable
Is
up
it
to
one
life in prison. And I wish I was joking
I
about that
provisionally
one.
appoint the public defender to represent you on the resisting officer without violence charge.
Le voy a asignar provisionalmente a la oficina del abogado de oficio para que lo represente por el cargo de resistirse a un oficial sin violencia.
I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge.
He repasado el informe policial y encuentro que hay motivo fundado para el cargo.
In this
Okay.
case, I'm going to require
Thank you,
pretrial
Wilson.
release with bail's condition and pretrial release.
En este caso voy a requerir condiciones de libertad condicional.
Your bail is set at $5,000.
Tiene usted una fianza de $5,000.
Not yet. They still have an
Once
address
you're
to
released,
juvenile.
You need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in person in Lake Alfred.
Ya que usted sea liberado, tendrá que reportarse de inmediato al programa de libertad condicional en Lake Alfred.
At 200 Government Center Boulevard in Lake Alfred.
Y eso va a ser la dirección 200 Government Center Boulevard.
Thereafter, you need to report every week by phone, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
A partir de entonces tendría que reportarse cada
Nah, he
semana
has
por
a nice hold.
teléfono, 2 veces a la semana.
He's not getting out.
los
There's no
martes
amount of
y
money he could
jueves.
pay for them to release him.
Okay,
Thank you, sir. Please touch your left.
gracias, señor. Pase a la izquierda.
All right, the next case requiring the assistance of the interpreter is Jesse Del Valle Arroyo.
Jesse del Valle y Rolo,
Del
if
Valle
you will.
Arroyo.
All right, you're charged with 3 counts of violation of probation from case number 2025 MM8713.
Tiene usted un cargo, 3 cargos de incumplimiento de libertad probatoria en el caso 25 MM8713.
Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
¿Quiere usted que yo le asigne un abogado de oficio para que la represente?
Sí.
Yes.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case.
Le asigno provisionalmente la oficina del abogado para que la represente en este caso.
I have reviewed the violation of probation warrant and affidavit. I do find probable cause for all the charges.
He repasado ya la orden de aprehensión por incumplimiento de libertad probatoria y el affidavit y encuentro que hay motivo fundado para los cargos.
Because they are alleged violations of probation, your bond status is no bond at this time.
Yep.
Por el hecho
You
que
got
se
that
alega
one,
que usted incumplió
that
la libertad
guy.
probatoria, usted no tiene fianza ahora mismo.
All right. You'll have an arraignment on May the 4th at 12:45 p.m.
Usted tendrá una audiencia para lectura de estos cargos el 4 de mayo a las 12:45.
Thank you. Please.
Gracias, es todo.
My understanding is we have an add-on John Mahesh, M-A-H-E-S-H. Sorry, that's the spelling I was given, but now I see it written down M-E-H-E-C-H-A.
Hey, Love Bug, thank you. Highly appreciate you.
Does the clerk or pretrial have anything on this? Because I don't have anything on it.
We were told to send him back because they didn't have paperwork.
Okay, that's correct. So just please bring him back tomorrow, okay?
Mañana, amigo,
It's the
mañana.
same thing with Gina Passageway. Did y'all send her back as well already?
Yes, Your Honor. And
Gina Passageway.
as well.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, was anybody watching Miami-Dade County Court? If you were, do you know what time they were going to come back from their break?
So,
Highly appreciate it if you could give me some insight.
Hold on one second, everybody.
What up, the
So
governor?
on those 3, I'm told nobody has paperwork. Does the clerk's office have paperwork?
Not on the other one.
You know what? I don't think most people are scared by ICE
And Thomas.
because they think that they can be affected by them.
Okay, so the 3 that I just mentioned, so y'all do have paperwork on Hawthorne?
145, thank you.
I don't have paperwork and pretrial doesn't have paperwork, so
Bring him back tomorrow.
Okay.
let's bring her back tomorrow, okay? All right, Ms. Cadenas, can you please make an announcement to make sure that's everybody that requires the assistance of the Spanish interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor. ¿Alguien más que esté presente que vaya a necesitar la asistencia de la intérprete en español? No response, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right, let's go on to Gilbert Figueroa Oppenheimer. All right, sir, you're charged in this case with
What up,
12
Jefes, Mom?
counts of violation of probation.
Where is
from
he at?
Case number 2024 CF 010254, and it's a Polk County case. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Is that the juvenile?
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the violation of probation warrant and violation of probation affidavit. I do find probable cause for all of the charges. Because they are alleged VOPs, right now your bond status is no bond. But you'll have an arraignment on May the 12th at 8:30 a.m. Thank you, sir.
It's not the bottom one.
We have to take one more out of order, and then we'll get to the regular docket. Let's go to Joshua Puckleworts.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
So I'm the statewide, and we are here for Joshua Pucklewarts, and he should be being first appearance for 940 and 941. There should be 2 charges.
So what I have, let me just tell Mr. Puckleworts what I have. So
What kind
Mr.
of last name is that?
What I have is
Mr. Puckleworts?
2 counts of participating in pattern of racketeering activity and 5 counts of trafficking and trafficking in methamphetamine. And then I have additionally conspiracy to traffic in methamphetamine. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
I got a private lawyer.
Okay, who is it?
Daniel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Daniel Fischetti on behalf of Mr. Pucklewarts.
All right, I'm glad you're here.
Pucklewarts?
I have reviewed in this case the KPS's, the complaint affidavit, the third superseding information, and the predicates that were attached there too. Is there anything anybody wants to tell me about this?
Your Honor, we have also filed pretrial detention motions in both of the cases. The first pretrial detention motion was filed in January 30th, and for the second warrant that was issued, that pretrial detention motion was filed on the 8th of April.
All right, hold on.
So we are showing that on the last charge here, the conspiracy to traffic, that the PA is not on that one.
All right, so we'll go one by one. So the clerk's office is telling me that on the conspiracy to traffic methamphetamine charge that Mr. Fischetti is not showing a notice of appearance on that charge.
Right.
Judge, I just got the case number today, so I filed it this afternoon, so it should be in process.
All right. And the second thing is that Office of Statewide is saying that they've filed motions for pretrial detention. I don't have those. If someone can pull them up for me, that'd be great.
Hey, a pucker could be your mouth and your behind, right? So Pucklewarts. Interesting, if you will. I would have changed my last name.
And if
I
I
would
didn't
have.
already say it, after reviewing all the documents that I mentioned previously, I do find probable cause for all of the charges.
I would have not passed that name down to my kids. I would have like, no, that's a no go. We're changing the name.
Is this the latest one? There were 2.
I'll be like, hey, you know what, Dad, Grandpa, this legacy ends with my children, if you will. I can't do them like that.
The latest one.
Imagine like how much kids will be teasing you in school, kindergarten all the way to 12th grade, and then when you start working in an office or something, or imagine he works in a gasoline station or in a tire shop. Jesus, no way. Would you guys drop the ward, the warts, or the pucker? What would you stick with pucker last name, or warts as your last name?
All right, I've read the latest one. What would you like to tell me about your motion?
Your Honor, based on the charges in the affidavit, we would be seeking pretrial detention, and we would be asking for him to be held no bond.
Hey, thank you for that, Tammy. I wasn't aware.
Hearings usually Monday and Thursday. I'm assuming this would be set for the Monday calendar.
And there is another motion on the other case number.
All right, let me see the other one as well, please.
Right, I have it up.
What up, Shane? That fool ain't going nowhere. How much time do you guys think he's looking at? I'm thinking he's looking at a long time, probably life.
Next page, please. All right, I have reviewed both of those. Is there anything the defense would like to tell me?
No, Your Honor, we can set that for hearing next week.
30 if convicted, life? 20 to 40?
I do grant the motions, so this will go for a hearing.
This guy was the next Eisenhower in the making, if you will.
At 1 o'clock.
Or Heisenberg, I mean.
To determine whether or not
Eisenhower.
the no bond
That fool's not gonna be no
status
president.
is going to stay no bond status or not, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else need to take on it? All right, let's go to South County Jail. The first case is Michael Allen.
All right,
And the one
Michael
after
Allen.
that is Justin Almonte.
Monte, get behind.
All right, here we go.
All right, Mr. Allen, you're charged with use or possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of methamphetamine, and you also have a KPS for case number 2025 CT 7312 for failing to appear at mandatory docketing call. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you in these matters?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in these matters. I have reviewed the arrest report and the capias. I do find probable cause for all of the charges. As to case number 2025 CT 7312 with the failure to appear, the judge who issued it said that you may be ROR'd if you provide us a good address where you can receive mail and we give you a court date. Do you have a good address you can give us for that?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the address?
3415.
3415?
Tigger Road.
Tigger Road.
Can you spell that?
Tigger.
Spell it for me. Mount what?
Yeah, M-O-U-N-T.
Oh, Mount.
T-A-B-A-R. Road, Lakeland, Florida, 33810.
Does the clerk have that? Anyone writing that down? So I understand it's.
Oh, the ladies just got here.
3415 Mount Tabor Road, T-A-B-O-R, Lakeland, and what was the zip?
33810.
33810. All right, and what's a good address we can?
Hey, Derek, thank you for that daily heart.
For that 2025 CT 7312 case. That one. All right, so for that case, you'll go to pretrial conference on May the 13th.
Hey, what up, Carl?
8:30 and the M7 division.
Hey, Josh, did you look up the house?
New charges, after reviewing the arrest report and KPS, I do find probable cause for all the charges. I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $1,500 on the drug paraphernalia charge and $6,000 on the methamphetamine charge. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services.
600,000?
In Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. On the one case we talked about first, the 2025 CT 7312, you'll be released on your own recognizance. Thank you, Mr. Allen. All right, the next case is Justin Almonte.
Yes, Your Honor.
Justin Almonte.
All right, Mr. Almonte, you're charged with violation of probation from case number 2022 CF 10493. Would you like for me to appoint a public defender to represent you? Oh, hold on, they said the attorney. You have a private attorney, Brooklyn Gogan, is that correct?
No,
Yes.
600,000 for the house he's staying at. Somebody looked it up on one of the other streams.
Forward without your attorney today?
Yes.
All right.
Hey, thank you.
I have reviewed the violation of probation warrant and the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charge. Because it's an alleged VOP, your bond status is no bond, but you'll
In 4
go for
minutes.
arraignment on that on May the 12th at 8:30. Thank you, sir.
Is it possible to get the date moved up?
You can talk to your attorney about that, okay?
All right, thank you, sir. May 12th?
600 in Cali is a trailer park.
Case is DeAndre Fields.
You ain't lying.
All right, Mr. Fields, you're charged with use or possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting officer without violence, possession of cannabis not more than 20 grams, and attempted tampering with evidence. Additionally, pretrial services notes that you have a bond case on case number 2024 CF 888. But as to these new charges, would you like for me to appoint a public defender to represent you?
No, I'm gonna hire Gomez, same one I already got.
You're going to hire your own attorney, is that what you said?
I already got an attorney,
Okay, who's your attorney?
Gomez.
All right, Gomez?
Yes,
All right, are you wanting to go forward today without your attorney?
yes.
All right.
What the hell? You got an
I have
attorney? You're not going to
reviewed
go?
the arrest report. I do find probable cause for all of the charges. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release, bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $6,000.
1.2 million?
Tampering charge and $2,000 on each of the other counts. Each of the remaining 3 counts. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in person in Lake Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone twice a week, every week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Is there anything anyone wants to tell me about the open bond case?
My other house? Damn, you got 2 houses? Jeez, I got 0.
That's 2025, that's 2024 C.
No wonder I can't buy no houses out here. You got 2?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, state you're requesting Defendant Parker.
All right, Mr. Fields, because you have these new charges, the state is asking that I revoke your bond on the case that I just mentioned, the 2024 CF 888 case, and that you be held no bond pursuant to Parker v. State. That is what I'm going to do. So your bond is revoked in case number 2024 CF 888, and you're to be held no bond at this time on that charge. Thank you.
So how would I be able to get my bond back?
You can talk to your attorney about that, sir. Thank you.
That's right, Erica. Hell yeah. Hey, you know what? In California, houses in the ghetto are $1 million right now.
Mr. Heath will be.
What up, Roxy?
All right, Mr. Heath, you are
Palmdale.
charged with aggravated battery, also battery, tampering with witness in a second-degree felony investigation, 2 counts of that. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to
Hey, what up, Brian?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Can you pull up the other side, please?
I know what's up with Rancho
Deborah
Cucamonga.
On behalf of Mr. Heath, I have a probable cause challenge, if the court is ready to entertain that.
Yes, ma'am.
He is charged with an aggravated battery, and the named victim in that case is McKinnon. That is the count that I'm going to be dealing with. They've charged him with aggravated battery, and the officer indicated in his report that he was doing that per the permanent disfigurement to the hand.
Permanent disfigurement?
The court may recall that in the affidavit he
What up, Uncle Cash?
he called it a laceration, but we have no idea what that means.
He explains being able to visibly see down to the fatty tissue.
Damn!
And he explained the amount of blood loss as well.
Woo!
But this is obviously not
Sounds
premised
expensive.
on deadly weapon. It's premised upon aggravated battery, and therefore our position is that there is inadequate evidence to show that this is great bodily harm or permanent disfigurement, and that is the basis for the probable cause challenge on Mr. Heath.
All right, anything from the state?
Yes, Your Honor, based upon the facts alleged in the probable cause affidavit, the state would argue that there is enough at this time to find probable cause for the charge of aggravated battery causing great bodily harm or disability.
And I found the arrest report.
This is Polk County, Arizona.
I referenced the one part already. They also talked about at the end, they also explained,
For anybody that was watching Miami-Dade is back.
through
What the hell
one
happened?
motel room, in many portions of that motel room, out a trail path, out in the vehicle, in the adjoining motel room, and in the front of the vehicle and in the car itself. The descriptions of being able to see down to the fatty tissue and explaining visually what that looks like. I do find probable cause for
Hold on, I gotta make some changes here.
And I do find probable cause for all of the other charges. Yes, sir?
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, this is a motion for pretrial detention as it relates to the aggravated battery charge. Should Your Honor find this motion to be legally and facially sufficient, state would request it to be a pretrial detention hearing set Monday, April 20th at 1 p.m. on the A2 docket.
All right. Let me review your motion for pretrial detention. All right, and Mr. Heath, the state has filed a motion for pretrial detention on the aggravated battery charge, asking that I hold you no bond on that charge. So I'm going to review it real quick to see if it is
There we
legally
go.
sufficient.
I'm not sure how the boxes got moved around, but they did.
do find the motion to be legally sufficient. So at this time, for all the other charges, except the aggravated battery charge, I'm going to require pretrial release with GPS electronic monitoring and bail as conditions of pretrial release. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in Bartow in person. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 7 days a week.
You gotta remember, crime never stops, so people are always getting arrested every second of the day.
You're not to be released until the GPS electronic monitor is affixed to your person. You're prohibited from having any contact whatsoever with the victims in this case. You may not contact the victims directly or indirectly. You cannot contact the victims in any manner whatsoever. You have to stay at least 500 feet away from the victims' residences, vehicles, places of employment, vehicles, and schools at all times. You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. Your bail is set at $15,000 on each of the tampering with witness charges and $5,000 on the battery charge. As to the aggravated battery charge, your bond status is no bond at this time, and you will go for a hearing April 20th at 1:00 p.m. in the A2 division.
Hey, what up,
on
Kimberly?
that, particular charge. All right, thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Deborah Goins on behalf of Mr. Heath. Mr. Heath?
Mr. Heath?
Yes. Just to clarify for the record that the motion filed by the state is going to actually be determined on April 20th, and there will be an attorney there representing Mr. Heath on that matter.
I'm aware of that.
Okay, now I'm waiting to hear him know.
Are you just trying to communicate that with
I
him?
certainly am. I think that's important.
All right.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Moving on to Michael Kalin.
All right, Michael Kalin, come on down.
All right, Mr. Kalin, you're charged with battery. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
This is Polk County,
Your
no
Honor,
face.
I do not swear in. I was read my rights and I invoked them.
Okay.
I wish to be appointed attorney. That's all I'm saying.
All right, and that's all I'm asking you is if you wanted me to appoint you an attorney. So you do, right?
I did not swear in.
Oh, that's okay. So I'm just trying to find out, do you want me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you?
Yes.
Okay. I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have
No,
reviewed
I did not swear in.
Okay, I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $1,000. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in Bartow.
What up, Karina?
In person at 1745 South Highway 17.
Those
Thereafter,
are unreasonable conditions. I cannot meet them. I do not have a car. I am homeless. I will be
thereafter
here
you need to
continuously.
report by phone every week,
Where
twice
is
a
my
week.
attorney?
All right. Your attorney is here and you need to stop interrupting me.
Tase him. We got a feisty one. He's fighting for his rights.
Once you are released from once you're released, you need to report to pretrial release services, as I mentioned, immediately in person in Bartow, and I gave you the address. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's unreasonable.
You are prohibited from having any contact with the victims.
Then I don't agree.
I'm not asking you.
I plead.
All right.
Tase him.
Trying to get through this. This is your last chance. If not, you're going to be removed. But these conditions are going to apply. All right. I'm not asking you to agree with them. I'm telling you what the conditions are. All right.
I'm not telling you I can't meet them.
I'm telling you you're not going to have any contact with the victim. So you have to stay at least 500 feet away from the victim, the victim's residence, vehicle, place of employment, and school at all times. You cannot contact the victim directly or indirectly. You cannot contact the victim in any manner whatsoever. Additionally, you may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. Mr. Kalin, I'm sure your attorney will meet with you, and if they feel like they need to file the appropriate motion regarding any of the conditions, they will, okay?
When do I meet with my attorney?
I have no way of knowing that. All right. Thank you, sir. Please step to your left. Your next case is Edward Lovato.
I haven't seen that message yet, Linda, but are you talking about the African American judge? I've seen him.
Mr. McKenzie. All right,
What up, D?
Mr. Lovato, you're charged with possession of cannabis over 20 grams, and I'm going to have a question about that charge. Possession of firearm by a convicted felon, armed trafficking, and phenethylamine, MDMA, more than 100 grams. I'm sorry, more than 10 grams. My apologies.
Who is this? War Dogs?
Which part, sir? I couldn't hear you.
The armed trafficking, MDMA.
Right. Okay, you're charged with armed trafficking and phenethylamines, MDMA, more than 10 grams, possession or use of drug paraphernalia,
Thank you,
trafficking
Jesus.
amphetamine over 28 grams, 2 counts of that, possession of methamphetamine, possession of weapon or ammunition by a convicted felon, resisting an officer without violence, possession of oxycodone, and possession of a structure or vehicle to traffic drugs.
Damn, these guys are like a hood pharmacist.
To represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have a question regarding the possession of cannabis over 20 grams.
What up, Rebecca?
And now, to be fair, this is a rather lengthy affidavit, but I did review it. And am I missing, and I could be missing it, but am I missing the weight of the cannabis?
Thank you, Michelle. Did somebody say
Smoke weed every day. 20 grams.
Yes, Your Honor, it looks like, I guess that would be page, on the last page of the affidavit, it does mention that the cannabis was tested, however, there is no mention.
they are, man? They definitely hit him. The streets of Polk County, prices are about to go up like gasoline.
And you don't want 24
This is
hours
Florida.
to try to develop more probable cause?
Not for that charge, Your Honor.
Okay.
Did somebody say Coco?
As to the possession of cannabis over 20 grams charge, I do not find probable cause for over 20 grams. I do find probable cause for under 20 grams on that charge, the lesser of under 20 grams. And the state has waived their...
Shout out to Jersey. I'm going to be out in Jersey at the end of this month.
24 hours to have more time to develop, see if they can develop probable cause for the over 20 grams. So I will view that as an under 20 grams charge at this time.
Nah, Ben, I'm not. I talk too much for that. Hey, Marlene. Hey, shout out to Marlene.
The M1. And I do find probable cause for all of the
Angelica.
other charges after reviewing the arrest report. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, regarding the armed trafficking and MDMA, as that is a first-degree felony punishable by life, the state is requesting that the defendant be held no bond.
All right. Is there anything the defense would like to tell me?
No, ma'am. Knowing that this is the constitutional basis for a zero bond, I don't have a legal argument I could make at this point.
All right. As to that charge, the state is asking that I go on the armed trafficking.
What up, Kong?
Phenethylamine, MDMA, more than 20 grams.
If you will.
Grams. The state is asking that you be detained and held no bond on that charge, and I am going to hold you no bond on that charge. As to all of the other counts, I am going to require pretrial release with GPS electronic monitoring and house arrest as conditions.
Alexis.
Of pretrial release. Your bond is set at
This was going through it right now. This is probably the...
$1,000 on the possession of cannabis under 20 grams charge. Your bond is set at $15,000 on the possession of firearm by a convicted felon charge. Your bond is set at $2,000 on the drug paraphernalia charge.
Thank you,
Your bond
Linda.
is set at $15,000 on each of the trafficking and amphetamine over 28 grams charges. Your bond is set at $16,000 on the possession of methamphetamine charge, $6,000 on the possession of ammunition by a convicted felon charge, $2,000 on resisting officer without violence, $6,000 on the oxycodone charge, and $10,000 on the possession of structure or vehicle to traffic charges. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office.
Tracy.
Lake
Nelson.
Alfred in person at 200
Nelson.
Government Center Boulevard in Lake Alfred. Thereafter,
What up, Florida man?
You must report by phone 7 days a week. You must not be released until the GPS electronic monitor is affixed to your person. You are also on house arrest, but you may attend your own court hearings your own attorney appointments, and your own
Yeehaw.
medical appointments. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Would there be a hearing on that?
Hey, you guys gotta put the word out right now in Polk County. There isn't gonna be no 30s, no 50s, and no 60s. There's not gonna be any bubonic. You know what? There's gonna be no glass doors and shattered windows. Nothing. It's gonna be all bad.
Hearing on the one charge. Or is he just going
Respond to my text.
All right. Your next date is arraignment on May the 15th. Thank you, sir. There's only one.
Say, hey, they're hitting that, blowing that fool up. Like, hey, what's up? Can you come through? What's up with that? This was in jail. Put the word out.
Only held on the arm. The no bond one is only on the armed trafficking one.
Okay, so that's the only one.
That's probably the wildest case we've seen so far, the armed trafficking one.
The next case is Jonathan
What up, Murph?
McKenzie.
If you will.
All right, Mr. McKenzie. You're
Yes, ma'am.
charged with, it looks like a direct information was filed for possession of methamphetamine and use or possession of drug paraphernalia for case number 26CF3697. Does he have an attorney already appointed?
What up, Ingrid?
I'm not seeing one at this time, Your Honor.
Would you like for me to appoint public defender to represent you?
I think I have one on my first case already.
I had the clerk check and they said they don't see you, don't see an attorney appointed on this case.
Hello, Governor.
Yes, ma'am. So, I guess I too.
So yes, you do want me to appoint the public defender?
I guess so. Yes, ma'am.
All right, I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the capias and the complaint affidavit and the state attorney's office's information that was filed. I do find probable cause for the charges. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000 on the methamphetamine charge and $1,000 on the paraphernalia charge. Once you're released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Lake Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard in Lake Alfred. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for it. Thank you, Mr. McKenzie.
Well,
Next case is Russell Parker. So you're
Yes, ma'am.
charged with possession of methamphetamine and possession or use of drug paraphernalia. Would you like for me to appoint a public defender to represent you?
Thank you, OG.
yes, but I do have one on another case that I'm facing.
Polk County up, Ingrid.
You don't see anyone appointed here. They're not appointed on this case, so I do provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case as well.
Okay.
I have reviewed the capias and the state attorney's office information that was filed in the complaint affidavit, and I do find probable cause for the charges. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial
Alexis,
release.
yeah.
Your bail is set at $5,000 on the methamphetamine charge and $1,000 on the drug paraphernalia charge. Once you're released, you need to report to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Thank you, sir.
Any court date, ma'am?
I don't have that, I'm sorry. What was it?
What up, Just?
Thank you. All right, the next case is.
Thank you.
Smith. All right, Mr. Smith, it looks like you have a warrant out of Hillsborough County for violation of probation for a possession of drug paraphernalia charge, and Hillsborough County set your bond at no bond. That's the situation. I cannot appoint Polk Public Defender to represent you because it's from Hillsborough, but once you get to Hillsborough, you can certainly ask the judge to consider appointing them if that's what you want to do, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I have reviewed the arrest report and the warrant confirmation teletype. I do find probable cause for the charge, and your bond status is no bond. If Hillsborough hasn't picked you up and you're still in our custody, then we'll bring you back on April the 23rd at 1 p.m. for first appearance, okay?
Okay, thank you.
you. Next case is Paul Thomas.
Paul
All right,
Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, you are charged with possession of cannabis over 20 grams, possession of structure or vehicle to traffic drugs, trafficking and amphetamine over 28 grams, armed trafficking and phenethylamine, MDMA more than 10 grams, possession or use of drug paraphernalia, possession of cannabis with intent to sell, and resisting or obstructing an officer without violence. Additionally, pretrial services notes that you have open cases in case number 2026 CT 000518, 2026 CT 000519, and 2026 CT 000520. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case?
I have a private attorney.
Okay, who's your attorney?
I'll go, Mayor.
Okay, and are you wanting to go forward today without him?
Yes.
All right. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for all of the charges. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, based upon the armed trafficking and MDMA being a first-degree felony punishable by life, the state is requesting that the defendant be held no bond.
Only on the armed trafficking charge, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And then regarding the open case, the state would also request.
Man, they don't play around in Florida. They'll put
So,
put you in prison for life.
The state is asking on your previous case numbers that I read out, there's 3 previous, that I revoke your bond and hold you no bond pursuant to Parker v. State. And the state is also asking on the armed trafficking charge that you be held no bond on that count. And that is what I am going to do. So you're to be held no bond on the armed trafficking count, and your open cases, which is case number 2026 CT 000520, it's 2026 CF 000519, and 2026 CT 000518. Your bond is revoked and you're to be held no bond on those cases at this time pursuant to Parker v. State. As to the remaining charges, I'm going to require a pretrial release with GPS electronic monitoring and house arrest.
What up, Just?
As conditions of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $15,000 on the possession of cannabis over 20 grams charge, $15,000 on the possession of structure or vehicle to traffic drugs, $2,000 on the drug paraphernalia charge, $10,000 on possession of cannabis with intent to sell, and $2,000 on the resisting or obstructing an officer without violence charge. And on the remaining trafficking in amphetamine over 28 grams, your bail is set at $20,000. You may not be released until the GPS electronic monitor is affixed to your person. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services.
Why?
Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every day.
Drop one, flush one.
7 days a week. You are also to be placed on house arrest. However, you may attend your own court hearings, your own attorney appointments, and your own medical appointments. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The next case, is that it for South County?
Yes, ma'am, that completes South County.
Thank you, y'all take care. Let's
Yes, ma'am.
move on to the females. The females, first one is Ruth Baez Encarnacion. All right, ma'am, you're charged with violation of probation from case number 2025 CF 584. And I just want to make sure that there's not also a disorderly conduct charge, so that's already been addressed.
Come back. I'm sorry, bring it back. We addressed it yesterday.
Okay. All right, so the only matter you're here on today is the violation of probation. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Previously shown yesterday.
Okay, apparently you were, sorry, I wasn't here yesterday, but apparently the PD's already representing you. Since I have reviewed the arrest report, I do find probable cause for the charge. Since this is a violation of probation, right now your bond status is no bond, so that's the situation. You'll have a arraignment on May the 11th at 8:30 a.m., okay? Yes, Ms. Boyles?
Yes, ma'am. Deborah Goins on behalf of Ms. Baez. just to inform the court, since you weren't here yesterday, the defense had made a probable cause challenge saying that and the judge had found, gave the state 24 hours for them to determine some evidence that would indicate that there was some use of alcohol. The state, in the interim, has provided a police report and they also amended the affidavit. So I just want to make sure we complete our argument and understanding that they provided that. I don't have anything to add.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
I did review those.
Okay.
All right, moving on to Brandy Barode. All right, ma'am, you're charged with no valid driver's license, possession of cannabis under 20 grams, and use or possession of drug paraphernalia. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, Your Honor.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the citation and arrest report. I do find probable cause for all of the charges. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail as condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $1,000 on the paraphernalia charge, $1,000 on the cannabis charge, and $250 on the no valid driver's license charge.
Smoke weed
Once you're
every
released, you
day.
need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, twice a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Not in Florida.
You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, they don't play around in Florida. You go to Florida, you get popped. Good luck to you.
Amy, you're charged with stalking or cyber stalking another. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Stalking.
I officially appoint the public defender to represent you. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in Lake Alfred in person at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. And you're prohibited from having any contact with the victim.
Hitting a
You
wall.
cannot contact the victim in any manner whatsoever. You cannot contact the victim directly or indirectly. You must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's residence, vehicle, place of employment, and school at all times. Additionally, you are prohibited from having any contact with Polk State College. Furthermore, you may not possess, access, or use any computer or any electronic device with internet or intranet capabilities. I did no weapons already. All right, thank you, ma'am. Next case is Amy Klingenpeel.
Klingenpeel?
All right, Ms. Klingenpeel, you're charged with battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer of violence, of means of communication, possession or use of drug paraphernalia, possession of methamphetamine, possession of cannabis resin, and resisting an officer with violence.
Hey, what up?
Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Sharissa.
Yes, Your Honor.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you. Yes, Ms. Goins.
Yes, Deborah Goins on behalf of Ms. Klingenpeel. I just wanted to confirm that they did not actually list an aggravated battery. That was mentioned in the affidavit. I was going to make a challenge to that. So just for that clarification, I don't have any comments to make.
And the way I reviewed it was the way I read them. Is that the state's understanding as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for all the charges. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $6,000 on the battery on a law enforcement officer charge, $1,000 on resisting an officer without violence, $6,000 on depriving an officer means of communication, $1,000 on the drug paraphernalia charge, $6,000 on the methamphetamine charge, $6,000 on the cannabis resin charge, and $6,000 on the resisting
Smoke
officer
weed
with
every day.
violence charge. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone 3 times a week, every week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
I'm not checking
You're
it with
prohibited from
nobody.
having any intentional contact with the law enforcement officer. Additionally, you have to stay at least 500 feet away from the law enforcement officer, victim, their residence, place of employment, and school at all times. You must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. And you may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. Thank you, ma'am. Please step to your left. Next case is Tabitha Forte.
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with use or possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of methamphetamine. And pretrial services says you have an open bond case in case number 2025 CF1097. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you appoint the public defender to represent you? I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charges. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $6,000 on the methamphetamine charge and $2,000 on the drug paraphernalia charge. Once you're released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Lake Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Is there anything anyone wants to tell me about the open bond case?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, statement would be requested that the defendant depart.
All right, ma'am. The state is asking that I revoke your bond in case number 2025 CF1097, and that you be held no bond in that case pursuant to Parker v. State, and that is what I'm going to do. So your bond is revoked in case number 2025 CF1097, and your bond status is no bond at this time on that case. Thank you, ma'am. The next case is Alexis Goss.
And put on the issue.
All right, Alexis Goss. All right, thank you. Ma'am, you're charged with trespass in a structure or conveyance. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge. In this case, I'm going to require a straight bond with the condition that you have no contact with 7-Eleven stores, okay? So you can't contact 7-Eleven stores or go there. And your bond is $250. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Where's she gonna go shopping at now?
Next case is Kirsten Holmes. Ma'am, you're charged with domestic violence battery on a person 65 or older.
Yes, yeah, I didn't do it.
Would you like for me to represent?
Why?
Yeah, because I didn't do that.
She didn't do nothing.
I'm not here.
I know, it's okay.
Ma'am, this
No,
is not.
I didn't do anything.
She didn't do anything.
Ma'am, you need to listen to my questions, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Sure.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial release. Bail is set at $6,000. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 3 times a week, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You are prohibited from having any contact with the victim. You cannot contact the victim directly or indirectly. You cannot contact the victim in any way whatsoever. You must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's residence, vehicle, place of employment, and school at all times. You're also prohibited. You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. Thank you, Ms. Holmes.
Thank you.
Bill 6,000. Great. Yes. All right. The next case is Angela Ingram.
Yes.
Ms. Ingram, you're charged with possession of hydrocodone, possession of clonazepam with intent to sell, possession of a prescription drug without a prescription, possession of.
Damn, she had a cocktail.
Corristabdol, possession or use of drug paraphernalia, possession of hydromorphone with intent to sell, possession of lorazepam, trafficking in amphetamine or methamphetamine over 14 grams, possession of morphine with intent to sell, possession of structure or vehicle to traffic. And then I just want to, I read the arrest affidavit, the docket lists one additional charge that I don't see, so I think it's a mistake on the part. Just want to make sure nobody has something else.
There's more charges?
We have an additional.
She has more charges than a CVS receipt.
I did not see that on the arrest report, and I only have one arrest report. I just want to make sure.
What's the next possession? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Alprazolam. I think it's a mistake, but we're going to hear. Hold on. I don't see that anywhere on the arrest report. And
Damn, she has a Zanny bars on deck.
But I'll listen to I'll hear anything that any of the attorneys have to tell me for the state of the defense or pretrial or the clerk's office regarding that charge. Because I only see 10 counts and the docket has 11 with that last count on there.
Hey, hey, she must be a good time.
See within the affidavit where it does mention alprazolam, 6 white rectangular pills, however, I don't see where it is charged.
Right. I don't see where it's charged either.
Actually, Your Honor, I do see it. It's not listed up in the top committed offenses. However, in the last paragraph, it is on the 3rd line down.
What am I to make of the fact that they didn't put it where you put when you're charging someone?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Well, at this time, I don't find probable cause for that charge, but I will give you 24 hours to show that that's what the detective meant to do, was to charge them.
Well, in full candor to the court, Your Honor, I do have a motion for pretrial detention to file in this case. Would you like to handle the motion today or bring back all the charges tomorrow? I do find probable cause for all of the other charges except for the possession of alprazolam because of the way that it is written up. Okay.
I think that's an easy fix. If they meant to charge it, they can. So we will bring her back on that one charge only. But I do find probable cause as to all of the other charges. And I assume you want 24 hours but you tell me.
Yes, Your Honor, on the president charge state would be requesting 24 hours.
Okay, she'll be, all right, Ms. Ingram will be brought back tomorrow only on the possession of alprazolam charge. Okay, what would you like to tell me?
And may I approach, Your Honor?
Yep.
Your Honor, I have a motion for pretrial detention as it relates to the trafficking count. Should Your Honor find this motion to be legally and facially sufficient, the state is requesting that a pretrial detention hearing be set next Monday, April 20th at 1 p.m. on the 8th docket for hearing.
All right, Ms. Ingram, the state is asking that as to the trafficking charge, you be held no bond, and that the court grant their motion for pretrial detention. I'm going to review it here in a second to see if it's legally sufficient, and that you be held no bond and brought back for a hearing next Monday, only on that charge. Let me review this motion.
What charge? I don't understand.
The trafficking in amphetamine or methamphetamine over 4. Let me review the motion for legal sufficiency.
Too much whispering going on over there.
Is there anything the defense wants to tell me about the motion?
At this point, I'm not in the position of presenting evidence that would negate the state's request. However, for Ms. Ingram's purposes, she should know that on Monday, when they have the hearing at 1 o'clock, an attorney will be there to challenge the motion to detain.
All right.
And the motion to detain only concerns the trafficking charge.
Right, that's what I said.
Okay, I just want to make sure
Okay, I
she
get
hears
it.
me say it.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
thank you,
bunch
Your
of
Honor.
people here, yeah. All right, so in this case, ma'am, as to all of the other charges except for the trafficking and amphetamine charge, I'm going to require pretrial release with GPS electronic monitoring and house arrest. Once you're released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report every week by phone, 7 days a week. You may not be released until the GPS electronic monitor is affixed to your person. Additionally, I'm going to require house arrest. You may attend your own court hearings, your own attorney appointments, and your own medical appointments. Additionally, you must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Your bail is set at $5,000 on the hydrocodone charge, $5,000 on the possession of clonazepam with intent to sell, $5,000 on the possession of prescription drug without prescription, $5,000 on the possession of Caristoprol, $1,000 on the drug paraphernalia charge, $15,000 on the possession of hydromorphone with intent to sell, $5,000 on possession of lorazepam, $15,000 on possession of morphine with intent to sell, and $10,000 on the possession of structure or vehicle to traffic. You will have a hearing for April the 20th at 1 o'clock. April the 20th at 1 o'clock p.m. on the armed trafficking charge, but at this time, you're to be held no bond on that charge.
I don't have armed trafficking.
You
On
do
the
now.
trafficking and amphetamine charge, you're to be held no bond, and you'll have that hearing on April the 20th, as I said, okay?
Yep.
Thank you, ma'am. Take care. Next case is,
You want to appoint any your
I thought I did. too.
Okay.
I do appoint him. I do appoint him if I didn't.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Moving on to Cassandra Langston. All right, Ms. Langston, you're charged with use or possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of methamphetamine. Also, pretrial services says that you have an open case in case number 2026 CF 2567. But as to these two new charges, would you like for me to appoint a public defender to represent you?
Yes, and did you find probable cause in the arrest affidavit?
I haven't done that yet, but I was just trying to figure out if you want an attorney first.
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for these charges. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000 on the methamphetamine charge and $1,000 on the drug paraphernalia charge. Once you're released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone twice a week, every week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. So the bond is $5,000 on the methamphetamine charge and $1,000 on the paraphernalia charge. Is there anything anyone wants to tell me about the open case?
Yes, Your Honor, state is requesting on the open case that the defendant be pardoned.
All right, ma'am, the state is asking that on your open case, your previous case, that I revoke your bond and hold you no bond pursuant to Parker v. State. And that is what I'm going to do. So your bond is revoked on case number 2026 CF 2567, and you are to be held no bond on that case at this time. Thank you, ma'am. All right, the next case is Ayana Placido.
Palacio, yes, ma'am.
Palacio. Ma'am,
Yes,
you're charged with felony petty theft, third or subsequent offense. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest warrant and the complaint affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charge. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $9,000. Once you are released, you need to report immediately
Later
to
on. Okay, cool.
Police Services Office Pretrial Release Services Office in person immediately upon your release at 1745 South Highway 17 in Bartow. Thereafter, you need to report by phone twice a week, every week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You are prohibited from having any contact with Dick's Sporting Goods stores. You also must stay at least 500 feet away from the event location. Thank you, ma'am. Next case, Savannah.
What day, that can't count out. But not the DOC property. It's the only thing.
Ma'am, you're charged with kidnapping, inflicting bodily harm or terrorizing a victim.
Damn.
Robbery,
These chicks are definitely gone wild.
creating violence, battery by strangulation. Would you like for me to
Strangulation,
to
awa.
represent you?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm here to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest warrant and complaint affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charges. Yes, sir.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, this is a motion for pretrial detention. Should Your Honor find this motion to be legally and facially sufficient, state is requesting that a pretrial detention hearing be set for Monday, April 20th at 1 p.m. on the A2 docket.
And this is regarding the kidnapping charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And I believe the robbery is mentioned as well.
All right, so you're asking for both the robbery and the kidnapping?
Yes, Your Honor. Should be outlined in the motion.
All right, ma'am, so the state has filed a motion for pretrial detention as it relates to the kidnapping charge and the robbery charge, and they're asking that you be held no bond on those two counts, and that you be...
Thank you for that daily heart.
You go before the court for a hearing on Monday, which is April the 20th at 1 o'clock p.m. All right, is there anything the defense would like to tell me?
Yes, ma'am. In this particular case, certainly I've read the affidavit and I know what the charges are. However, it seems to me that the statute under which the state is filing these motions to detain, they are premised upon the idea of protecting the community from the risk of physical harm to persons. There is nothing about this document that shows anything other than this person being accused of certain crimes. And just to say, well, that's a serious crime. Not everybody charged with kidnapping or robbery or aggravated battery is having a motion for pretrial detention filed. That doesn't mean that this person poses a danger to the community in general. So that would be my objection at this point, when the court has just would indicate, I guess, that you may find that you find probable cause in that, or you find it is sufficient.
I haven't made...
You're correct. I stand corrected.
Right.
But the point is that there isn't anything in here for the court to decide that this person is even potentially a danger to the community and a risk of physical harm to persons. Okay. Those are my comments.
Okay. And is there anything the state wants to tell me?
Your Honor, the pretrial detention motion is specifically filed under the, I believe I don't remember the exact section off the top of my head, however, these crimes are dangerous crimes that are enumerated under the statute, and I believe that is what the motion outlines.
I am reviewing the motion right now. That is the basis for the motion. I have reviewed the state's motion for pretrial detention as it relates to the kidnapping and the robbery charge. I do find it to be legally sufficient. So as to those two charges, you're to be held no bond at this time. However, you'll go before the court on Monday, April 20th at 1 o'clock p.m. With A2 division to determine whether or not your bond status on those two charges should stay the same or if a bond should be set. As to the remaining charge, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Lake Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone 3 times a week, every week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives, and you're prohibited from having any contact with the victim. You cannot contact the victim directly or indirectly. You cannot contact the victim in any way whatsoever. You must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's residence, vehicle, place of employment, and school at all times. Thank you, ma'am. All right, the next case is Natalie Tarver. Ms. Tarver, you're charged with possession of methamphetamine and use or possession of drug paraphernalia. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
That does look like
I would like
crazy
for the
eyes.
public defender to represent you. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charges. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $1,000 on the paraphernalia charge and $5,000 on the methamphetamine charge. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in person in Lake Elm.
Hold up, Brittany.
At 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone twice a week, every week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Thank you, ma'am. Next case is Lourdes Valerie. All right, ma'am, it looks like you're here because you have two KPSs, one for case number 2025 MM9208 and one for case number 2025 CT 9279 for failing to appear for pretrial release on those cases. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I couldn't hear you.
We're showing that they're previously appointed.
Okay, the clerk's telling me that they were previously appointed on those two cases, so they will continue to represent you on these cases, okay?
Thank you.
All right, right now your bond status is no bond, but this will be set for a 5-day hearing. That'll go next Tuesday, April 21st at 8:30 a.m. on the M7 division, okay? Thank you, ma'am.
I have a question. I had already taken care of my driver license.
All right, I'm not sure what your question is.
Because you say I don't have a bond.
That doesn't have anything to do with your driver's license.
And I also have proof that why I missed court. It's on my phone. I talked to the defender and let them know I was diabetic and my sugar was high, and I spoke to them about that.
Okay. Well, you'll make sure you continue to stay in close contact with your attorney, and I'm sure that's something y'all will bring up at the hearing on Tuesday, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next case is Brittany Young. All right, Ms. Young, you're charged with conspiracy to traffic in amphetamine, more than 28 grams, trafficking in amphetamine more than 200 grams, unlawful use of a two-way communication device, and 6 counts of trafficking in amphetamine more than 28 grams. Also, use or possession of drug paraphernalia. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for all of the charges. Yes, sir.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, this is a motion for pretrial detention as it relates to the trafficking counts. Should Your Honor find this motion to be legally and faithfully sufficient, state is requesting that pretrial detention hearing will be set for Monday, April 20th at 1 p.m. on the A2 docket.
And so just to make sure the defendant, Ms. Young, understands, you're asking that you're filing the motion for pretrial detention for all of the counts with the exception of the unlawful use of a two-way communication device and the use or possession of drug paraphernalia. Is that correct?
I believe so, Your Honor, and
Do you need your motion?
I just need to check something real quick.
Okay.
Regarding the conspiracy, I'm not sure if that is. Yes, Your Honor, it's only for the trafficking, not the conspiracy.
All right. And so it would be for everything except for the conspiracy to traffic in amphetamine, the unlawful use of a two-way communication device, and the possession or use of drug paraphernalia. And you're asking that the court hold her no bond on those charges at this time, and that on those charges it'd be set for a hearing for April the 20th, which is Monday at 1 o'clock p.m. in the A2 division?
Yes, Your Honor, and that would be on the 7 counts.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. All right, Ms. Fines, is there anything you want to tell me?
I have no additional comments that I can make at this point, Your Honor.
Okay, let me review the motion real quick.
Good thing they don't have anywhere to be, because they would have been late on the late train, if you will.
Motion for pretrial detention as it relates to the 7 counts of trafficking. I do find it to be legally sufficient. So on those 7 counts, you're to be held no bond at this time. However, there will be a hearing regarding those matters on April the 20th at 1 o'clock p.m. in the A2 division. As to the remaining charges, I am going to require pretrial.
Nah, I'm off today. That's all I'm on.
GPS electronic monitoring, house arrest, and bail as conditions of pretrial release. You may not be released until your the GPS electronic
That's right,
monitor is
Christina.
affixed to your person, and you're also, I'm going to order house arrest. However, you may attend, let me see where I'm missing the spot right there. I'm not there yet. I'm gonna go to that. I'm talking about house arrest right now. Okay. However, you may attend your own court hearings, your own attorney appointments, and your own medical appointments. Once you are released, you must.
That's right, Erica.
Report immediately in person to Police Services Office in Lake Alfred in person at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you must report by phone 7 days a week. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. As to the conspiracy to traffic and amphetamine charge, your bail is set at $20,000. As to the unlawful use of a two-way communication device, your bail is set at $10,000. As to possession or use of drug paraphernalia, your bail is set at $1,000. And you'll have that hearing like we talked about on Monday at 1 o'clock p.m., okay? Thank you, ma'am.
All you need is 2 pair of legs.
Are those all the females?
One leg is not an option to dance.
Let's go to the males at Central. First case is Jesse Allen. Mr. Allen, you were charged with 2 counts of violation of probation from Polk County case number 2025 MM5812. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
In Canada, you need to have a license to strip dance?
I have reviewed the violation of probation warrant and the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charges. Because they are alleged violations of probation, your bail status is no bail or no bond at this time. However, this will go for a hearing on May the 4th at 12:45 p.m. in the M4 division, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right, Karina.
Next case is David Barr.
In here? Yep.
Mr. Barr, it looks like you have a warrant out of Hillsborough County for a violation of probation, and the underlying case was a DUI case. I cannot appoint a public defender because it's a Hillsborough case, but once you get to Hillsborough, you can certainly ask the judge there to consider appointing the public defender to represent you if that's your desire, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I have reviewed the arrest report and the warrant confirmation teletype. I do find probable cause for the charge. Hillsborough has your bond status set at no bond at this time. If they haven't picked you up and you're still in our custody on April the 23rd at 1 o'clock p.m., we'll bring you back here to first appearance in Polk, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Next case is Chamazi Biggums. Sir, you're charged with domestic violence battery. Would you like for me to appoint a public defender to represent you?
Why?
Yes, Your Honor.
Provisionally appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail as condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 3 times a week, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Hey, thank you, Lil Bug.
You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. Additionally, you're prohibited from having any contact with the victim. You cannot contact the victim directly or indirectly. You cannot contact the victim in any way, shape, or form. You have to stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's residence, vehicle, place of employment, and school at all times. You cannot contact the victim in any manner whatsoever. Thank you, sir. Next case is Quashawn Brooks. All right, Mr. Brooks, you are charged with petty theft from a merchant with a prior conviction, 3 counts of that. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, no.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for all the charges. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000 per count. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in person or to at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, twice a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You're prohibited from having any contact with the Happy Liquor Store in Lake Wales. You must stay 500 feet away from the event location. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, you said I had 3 counts?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
That's all, folks.
Cardona.
Ma'am.
All right, so you are charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
At this time, yes.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Deborah Goins on behalf of Mr. Cardona. My challenge focuses on the deadly weapon aspect of this. It's a pepper ball gun.
Pepper ball?
I've reviewed the case law again even today regarding that, and it does, a deadly weapon has to be one that could cause serious bodily injury or death. And pepper spray is a typical thing used for crowd control or inmates control, and if the jail would not be in a position of being able to use deadly weapons against the inmates. So I think with the way that this was written, there just isn't enough detail to indicate whether it might have been used in a way that was likely to cause serious bodily injury. So I would challenge the probable cause on the aggravated.
With the deadly.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, with the use of a deadly weapon.
Yes, ma'am. And I did see in the affidavit where I think the officer was trying to make their explanation about, a deadly weapon, if it's used or threatened in a manner likely to cause great bodily harm. However, I agree with Ms. Goins that at least when I read the affidavit, I don't see any of the details that explain to me why that is. But I'll hear from the state as well.
Your Honor, the state would argue that based upon the reading of the affidavit, and also there's an argument to be made that a pepper ball gun is not pepper spray. These are 2 completely different instruments. Pepper spray itself is contained in a canister. Pepper ball gun, as mentioned by the officer in the affidavit, it resembles a handgun. It also shoots the projectile out.
It doesn't tell me in that affidavit what this one does or does not do.
Fair, Your Honor. But just based upon the way the affidavit's written, Your Honor, it was a handgun-shaped device that 2 victims indicated along with a verbal threat. The state's going to argue that there is enough at this time to find probable cause for the 2 counts of aggravated assault. However, if Your Honor is not prepared to find probable cause at this point, the state would request an additional 24 hours.
Yes, sir. I mean, I think they can probably get there. I think the way it's articulated in this report, they didn't do it. So at this time, Mr. Cardona, I don't find probable cause. I'm going to give the state 24 hours to see if they can establish probable cause by filing an amended report. So you'll be brought back tomorrow to give the state the opportunity to do that, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Take care. The next case is James Clark. And Mr. Clark, you're charged with misdemeanor possession of cannabis
Hey, what up,
violation
Tammy?
of probation in Polk County case number 2024 MM 1908, possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of MDMA ecstasy. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you in these matters?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you on these matters. I have reviewed the violation of probation warrant and violation of probation affidavit as well as the arrest report. I do find probable cause for all of the charges. The violation of probation, the bond status is no bond because it's a VOP. But as to the other charges, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $1,500 on the cannabis charge, $1,000 on the paraphernalia charge, and $6,000 on the possession of MDMA ecstasy charge. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Thank you, sir. The next case is Herman Collins.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. All right, Mr. Collins, you are charged with resisting an officer without violence, use or possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of methamphetamine. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
If you can, Your Honor, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for all the charges. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000 on the methamphetamine charge and $1,000 on the paraphernalia charge and $1,000 on the resisting officer charge. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Thank you, sir.
Hey, G, sir, thank you for sharing the live. Highly
Next
appreciate
case
you.
is Wilfredo Delgado.
Hello, ma'am.
Sir, you're charged with domestic violence battery. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Lake Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone 3 times a week, every week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. Additionally, you may not possess or consume any alcohol or enter any bars or lounges. You also must submit to random breath tests that you're required to pay for.
What up, G?
Furthermore, you are prohibited from having any contact with the victim. You cannot contact the victim directly or indirectly. You cannot contact the victim in any manner whatsoever. You must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's residence, vehicle, place of employment, and school at all times. And I think I already said it, but your bail is set at $5,000. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right, the next case is Randall Duncan.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Duncan, you're charged with resisting or obstructing an officer without violence and threatening a law enforcement officer with serious bodily harm or death. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you. Yes, Ms. Goins.
Yes, Deborah Goins on behalf of Mr. Duncan, and my probable cause challenge is premised upon the concept that Mr. Duncan was under no obligation to actually give his name to the police, and that they could have continued their investigation without him. He apparently was seen next to an ATV, and there had been a complaint called in about ATV vehicles. But it seems, under the circumstances, there's no evidence to connect him to an investigation or a crime, and that a person doesn't have to give law enforcement their name.
That's right. I like this public pretender.
Any response by the state?
Remember, I think the affidavit's fairly clear that law enforcement was conducting an investigation, was asked to do something by law enforcement, and didn't comply with the order. I think that there's more than enough here to satisfy the resisting officer without violence charge.
All right. In this case, I do find probable cause for all of the charges.
Of course she
All right,
does.
sir, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $1,000 on each count. Once you're released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in person in Lake Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. Additionally, you are prohibited from having any intentional contact with the law enforcement victim in this case. You cannot contact that officer in any way, shape, or form. You also must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim, the victim's residence, and vehicle at all times. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Next case is Joshua Edwards.
Órale. What up, Carson?
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, sir. You're charged with violation of probation from case number 2024 CF 10748. That's a Polk County case. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
At this time, yes.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the violation of probation warrant and the violation of probation affidavit.
What up, my
and I do
boy?
find probable cause for the charge. Because it is a VOP, your bond status is no bond, but you'll go for a hearing for arraignment on that matter May the 12th at 8:30, okay?
You said May when?
12th.
May 12th?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Next case is Christopher Grant.
We skipped Ruben Free?
Yeah, I did skip Mr. Free. Is this Mr. Free right here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Free, you're charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $15,000. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office
thank you,
in
Steph.
person in Lake Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives, and you are prohibited from having any contact with the victim. You cannot contact the victim directly or indirectly. You cannot contact the victim in any manner whatsoever. You must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's residence, vehicle, place of employment, and school at all times. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me jump back to Mr. Christopher Grant. Mr. Grant, you're charged in this case with 2 counts of violation of probation from Polk County case 2025 CF 7223. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge. Because they are alleged violations of probation, right now your bond status is no bond. But you'll have a hearing on May the 12th at 8:30 a.m. on this matter, okay?
You said you were showing. We have 3 on the board.
Oh, you have 3? Hold on one second. I'm
Hold
showing.
on.
Hang on one second. Can you pull up the, I went into Pro, but let me see. The docket has 2. Let me check real quick.
Simple battery.
Can you go into the case itself, 2025 7223? Yeah, the docket's got 2, but if you've got. Let me see the one real quick.
Hey, T. Maria, gracias. Highly appreciate you.
Going on the warrant real quick. Okay, you go to the warrant.
They suspended it, Erica, on this stream for whatever reason. It's been like that for like the last few months. They keep on doing it. Thank you, beautiful.
Yeah, it's okay. Go back to the judge.
Hey, I'm feeling a lot. I'm feeling a lot better.
Okay. It's actually 3 counts of VOP. Thank you.
3?
3 counts, yes, sir. It's all the counts from that one underlying case we talked about, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. The next case is Toby Ledford. All right, Mr. Ledford, you are charged with 5 counts of violation of probation from case number 2024 CF 2134. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the violation of probation warrant and the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charges. Because they are VOPs right now, your bond status is no bond, but you'll have an arraignment on this matter on May the 12th at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, what up, Harry?
Paul Link.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Link, you're charged with conspiracy to commit burglary of a dwelling. Criminal
Conspiracy?
mischief, $200, but less than $1,000. 2 counts of that.
That fool looks young.
Burglary of an occupied dwelling, 2 counts of that. And
What up, Jeanette?
causing a child to become delinquent or dependent.
Oh, that
Would you
fool's
like for me to appoint
screwed.
the public defender to represent you?
My parents have appointed me an attorney, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you know who your attorney is by chance? Are your parents on the line? Is Paul Link's parents are on the line?
Yes, we are.
Did you already retain an attorney for him?
I did, and he, as of last night, there was no case number or something, so he couldn't see the details or appear in person today because of the last minuteness. His name is Edward Schwab.
Okay. And Mr. Link, are you wanting to go forward today with this hearing, or do you want to be brought back tomorrow so you or your family can contact your attorney to have them come tomorrow?
Go forward.
All right. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charges. Mr. Link, I had a couple of questions for you. You don't have to answer them, but I had a couple of questions, okay? I see that you're employed part-time at home school and you're 18. Are you in school?
Yes, he is. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me, Mr. Link?
Yes, I'm in
You
school.
could answer that, Paul.
Yes.
All right. So are you in high school?
What up here?
Yes.
All right. What are your grades like?
Be average.
Okay.
Average?
And you have family local in Polk County?
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to tell me? And then I'm going to ask your parents if there anything they want to tell me.
I'm not guilty.
All right. Anything Mr. Link's parents want to tell me?
No, it's just, obviously, it's a good kid, just caught up. Just want to get this behind us. You go to school and work, and graduate, go to college.
Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, these are some pretty serious charges, as you understand.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything the state wants to tell me?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Link, I assume you tell me if I'm wrong. I know you have a part-time job, but do you rely on income from your parents to support you?
Yes.
Okay. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail and GPS electronic monitoring as conditions of pretrial release. You may not be released until the GPS electronic monitor is affixed to your person. Once you are released, you need to report immediately in person to Pretrial Release Services Office in Lake Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm also going to impose a curfew. Your curfew is from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. every day. You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. Additionally, you're prohibited from having any contact with the victims in this case. You cannot contact the victims directly or indirectly. You cannot contact the victims on social media or by any other manner. You have to stay at least 500 feet away from the victims' residence, vehicles, places of employment, and schools at all times. I cannot emphasize enough, you cannot contact the victims in any way at all. Furthermore, you are prohibited from having any contact with the two co-defendants in this case. Your bail is set on the conspiracy to commit burglary at $2,500. Your bail is set on the criminal mischief on each count at $500. Your bail is set on each count of the burglary at $2,500, and your bail is set on the remaining charge of $500. Thank you, sir, and good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Next case is Joshua Martin.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. All right, you're charged with violation of probation from Polk County Case 24 CF 3186. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, please.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the violation of probation warrant and VOP affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charge. Because it's a VOP, your bond status is no bond, but you'll have an arraignment on May the 12th at 8:30 a.m., okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Next case is Larry Park. Mr. Park, you're charged with possession of methamphetamine and use or possession of drug paraphernalia. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charges. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000 on the methamphetamine charge and $1,000 on the paraphernalia charge. Once you're released. Yes,
Did
sir?
you read the report? I didn't have anything on me. They took my ID and tested it twice, and then the third time he went in his truck where I couldn't see and came back and said it tested positive. I didn't have anything on me.
Okay,
I don't
hang on a second.
understand.
Hold on. That's the opposite from what I'm reading in the report. All right. So, back to where we were. I already appointed the public defender, and I already found probable cause for both counts. I set your bond at $5,000 on the methamphetamine charge and $1,000 on the drug paraphernalia charge. I told you once you're released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in Lake Alfred in person at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week.
Can I represent myself? I don't want public
Hold on, I'm still talking. You must, you keep interrupting me, so let me get back to where we were. After your initial report in person to Pretrial Release Services, and we already told you where, after that initial one in person, you have to report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. All right. What were you saying now, Mr. Park?
I want to represent myself. I don't want the public defender's office.
Okay, have you had any legal training?
Yes, ma'am.
You have? What law school did you go to?
I worked in the law library in prison.
Okay, and how far did you go in school?
I have a diploma.
From high school?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand I certainly can appoint the public defender if you want me to.
No, ma'am. I want to represent myself, and I'm indigent. I may need state assistance.
Well, so you're wanting assistance, so you do want an attorney?
I do not want the state attorney. I want to represent myself, ma'am.
Well, it would be the public defender, but I find that you, at this time, since you seem to adamantly want to represent yourself, I am going to let you represent yourself. The assigned judge is probably going to continue to ask you questions about that to determine if that is appropriate or not. But at this time, we'll note that you do want to represent yourself and you understand that you could have the PD appointed if you want to, okay? Thank you, sir. Take care. Moving on to Michael Florid.
Yes.
Sir, you're charged with violation of probation. You have several counts of violation of probation, and you have KPSs out for you. And it all is from case number 2024 CF 11182 and 2025 CF 6342. And so on all of those matters, your bond status is no bond. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in these matters. I have reviewed the KPSs, the violation of probation warrants, and affidavits. I do find probable cause for all of the charges. I mentioned already your bond status is no bond, but we're going to set you on the next available Tuesday on the F8 division.
Your Honor, can you read the comments, please?
Present to the court minutes. So is that different from what the KPS said?
Yes, it was after, the minutes were processed after the case was left outstanding, so.
Okay, so the KPS, so these minutes came after the KPS, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So apparently there's some additional information that I did not have. You're to be set in the F7 division for a hearing, okay? So we're going to go ahead and give you your hearing date. And I appointed the public defender's office to help you with these matters, so you'll go for arraignment on these matters May the 12th at 8:30 a.m. in the F7 division, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Next case is Daquan Potts. Mr. Potts, you're charged with violation of probation from Polk County, case number 2025 MM 209. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the VOP warrant and the VOP affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charge. Right now, your bond status is no bond, but you will go for a hearing on April the 20th at 12:45 p.m. Thank you, sir. Next case is Christian Ramirez.
No.
All right, Mr. Ramirez, it looks like you're here from a warrant out of Orange County regarding a hit and run, failing to stop or maintain at a crash scene. Well, it's the Orange County case, so I can't appoint a public defender, but when you get over to Orange County, you can certainly ask the judge to appoint one if that's your desire, okay?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Did the case get direct filed? Okay, it's a juvenile case.
I don't know. I can only tell you right now what I have, and that's the information I have from reading the arrest report. And I know that Orange County has your bond set at no bond. So if you're still in our custody,
We'll bring him back next Thursday, Your Honor. We have to get the order, apparently we don't have it.
okay, if you're still in our custody by next Thursday and Orange County hasn't come to get you, then we'll bring you back to first appearance here in Polk, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And I do find probable cause for the charge after reviewing the arrest report. Thank you, sir. The next case is Luis Rodriguez Garay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're charged with domestic violence battery. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 3 times a week, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. Additionally, you're prohibited from having any contact with the victim. You cannot contact the victim directly or indirectly. You cannot contact the victim in any manner whatsoever. You must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's residence, vehicle, place of employment, and school at all times. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
David Sawyer. All right, Mr. Sawyer, you're charged with possession or use of drug paraphernalia and possession of methamphetamine. Additionally, pretrial services says you have an open case in case number 2026 CF 2977. But as to these new charges, would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charges. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail as the condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $6,000 on the methamphetamine charge and $2,000 on the paraphernalia charge. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to pretrial release services office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report every week, twice a week by phone. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Is there anything anybody wants to tell me about the Opry case?
Your Honor, state would request the defendant Park about the Opry case.
All right, Mr. Sawyers, the state is asking that I revoke your bond. In the previous case, you told me no bond pursuant to Parker v. State, and that is what I'm going to do. So in case number 2026 CF 2977, your bond is revoked and you're held no bond pursuant to Parker v. State. Thank you, sir. The next case is Marquise Seagon. All right, sir, you're charged with domestic violence battery. Would you like for me to appoint a public defender to represent you? We provisionally appoint a public defender to represent you. I reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000. Once you're released, you need to report immediately to the pretrial release services office in person in Lake Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. The victim has any contact with the victim. You cannot contact the victim directly or indirectly. You cannot contact the victim in any way whatsoever. You must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's residence, vehicle, place of employment, and school at all times. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next case is Eric Sierra.
He was taken off. They said they did his first appearance earlier.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right.
So he was
Thank
fine.
you. Okay, so he's been disposed of.
Yes.
All right, so that brings us to... Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Jannar Smith.
Hang on one second. All right, so you're charged with 2 counts of violation of probation from case number 2018 CF 11752. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the VOP warrant and the amended affidavit of violation of probation. I do find probable cause for the charges. Because they're VOPs, your bond status is no bond. So that's the situation, but you have a hearing on May the 12th at 8:30 a.m. in the F7 division. Thank you, sir. All right, the next case is Derek Tyler. Mr. Tyler, you're charged with 2 counts of violation of probation from Polk County case 2025 CF 7221. Would you like for me to appoint a public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the violation of probation warrant and affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charges. Same situation, your bond status is no bond because they're VOPs, but you have a hearing May the 12th at 8:30 a.m. in the F7 division. Thank you, sir. Next case is George Tyler. Mr. Tyler, you're charged with use or possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis resin. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you. In this case, I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charges. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000 on the cannabis resin charge and $1,000 on the paraphernalia charge. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
How much I gotta pay total to get out?
That's between you and the bonds person. I stay out of that, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am. You have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Next case is Cody Walker. Mr. Walker, you're charged with possession of methamphetamine and use or possession of drug paraphernalia. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charges. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail as condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000 on the methamphetamine charge and $1,000 on the paraphernalia charge. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. Thank you, sir. Next case is
Four, ma'am.
Philip War. Sir, you're here. Good afternoon. You're here because you had a KPS from case number 2025 MM6235 for failing to appear at mandatory docketing call. Is it, do you know who it is?
That would be Mr.
All right. You have Mr. Torella from the Public Defender's Office already represent you and will continue to represent you on this case, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. It's a no bond KPS, so that's the situation, and your next hearing is May the 13th at 8:30 a.m. and I do find probable cause for this charge, okay?
Ma'am, I'm sorry, you were cutting out. I didn't hear the last half of that.
It's a no bond KPS. I do find probable cause. The PD will continue to represent you in this case, and you have a hearing on May the 13th at 8:30 a.m.
Yes, ma'am. May I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
So there was no original arrest. It was just a subpoena. Is there no option of getting a bond?
Nope, it's a no bond KPS, and you'll go before the assigned judge, and that's certainly something you can talk to about that with that judge and with your attorney, okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next case is Russ Wilson. Mr. Wilson, you're charged with driving while license suspended or revoked. And Pretrial Services says you have some open cases in case number 2026 CT 000553, 2026 CT 000554. But on this new charge, would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you. I have reviewed the citation and arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail as a condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $500. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Lake Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Is there anything anyone wants to tell me about the two open cases?
Yes, Your Honor. State would request that the defendant be parked on the two open cases.
All right, Mr. Wilson, the state is asking that on your two previous cases that I revoke your bond and hold you no bond pursuant to Parker v. State, and that's what I'm going to do. Your bond is revoked in those two cases, which is 2026 CT 000553 and 2026 CT 000554. You are to be held no bond on those two cases pursuant to Parker v. State. Thank you, sir. All right, is this Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Leon Thomas, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Thomas, it looks like you're here because you're charged with burglary of a conveyance and grand theft of a motor vehicle. And I think the state, this were direct charges filed, is that correct?
I show it as a KPS, Your Honor.
Okay. I thought it was, can you pull up the, I thought it was a KPS because the direct information was filed, is that not correct? Oh, they're add-on charge, direct add-on charges, so yes, okay. So that's for case number 2026 CF 3403, sir. Would you like, did we have this here?
Previously, Your Honor, already appointed.
Public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so the public defender was previously appointed and they will continue to represent you.
Hold on, I don't understand. Can you repeat what's going on now?
You have add-on charges that the state added, of burglary of a conveyance and grand theft of a motor vehicle. So the PD represents you, and they will continue to represent you.
But I was just locked up for grand theft of a motor vehicle. So what are you? I got 2 grand thefts of a motor vehicle now. That's what you're saying?
I don't know what else you have. I can only tell you that you have these 2 charges. So I have reviewed the arrest report as well as the state attorney's office information that they filed and their arrest report. You do find probable cause for these 2 charges. As to these 2 charges, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $10,000 on the grand theft of a motor vehicle charge and $5,000 on the burglary charge. Burglary of a conveyance charge. Once you are released, you need to report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you need to report by phone every week, 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You're prohibited from having any contact with the victims. You have to stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's vehicle, place of employment, residence, and school at all times. Additionally, you cannot contact the victims in any way whatsoever. You cannot contact them directly or indirectly. Furthermore, you may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. Thank you, Mr. Thomas.
All right.
That's all I have unless anybody else has something else.
Hey, we did Jose Domingo.
Who was it?
Jose Domingo.
Jose Domingo.
He's the Portuguese, come back.
Oh, he's coming back tomorrow for the Portuguese interpreter.
Gotcha. All right.
Good morning. I am here at Examiner Bernard. Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2026. Board members, please state your names for the record.
Robert Sazowskis.
Councilmember Barry. Nancy Turner.
This is a final revocation review for Rashad Bunkley, inmate number 356347. I recommend a revoke and reparole on 5/29/26, which is approximately 5 months sanction with the following conditions. General no contact with DP without the parole officer's permission, behavioral management for domestic violence, halfway house placement, no contact with victims James Brown, Darius Bridges, Dwayne Newman, and Anthony Wilson, no contact with co-defendant Jason Young, mental health evaluation and treatment as deemed necessary. Does the board accept or reject this recommendation?
Councilmember Barry, do you?
I accept.
Councilmember Turner.
I would like it noted in the dispo
Recording in
that
progress.
Mr. Bunkley
Entonces,
needs
lo que quiere la fiscalía primero indica que tiene antecedentes y había estado 3 años encarcelado, también por tráfico, y lo que solicita la fiscalía es una fianza de cargo de tráfico de cocaína de 50,000 con las condiciones Nevia.
Okay, I think an increased bond is warranted, but I'm not gonna do it that high. Count 1, trafficking in cocaine will be $15,000.
Entonces, cargo número 1, tráfico de cocaína, serán $15,000.
Count 2, conspiracy for trafficking in cocaine will be $5,000.
Cargo número 2, conspiración de traficar cocaína, son $5,000.
Count 3, possession with intent to possession of a place for purposes of trafficking in cocaine or a controlled substance is $2,500.
Cargo número 3, uso de propiedad para tráfico de cocaína o de sustancias reguladas, $2,500.
And then count 4, possession with intent to sell cocaine is $2,500.
Y cargo número 4, posesión con intento de vender cocaína, $2,500.
That's plus a Nebbia requirement. You have to show the money used to post your bond is from a legitimate source of funds.
Eso es con el requisito Nevia. Usted debe demostrar que el dinero que utilizará para la fianza viene de unos recursos legítimos.
All right, the next case, F26-7476, is from December 3rd, where it's alleged he's selling cocaine within 1,000 feet of a school or a daycare.
Y el siguiente cargo F26-7476 del 3 de diciembre alega que vendió drogas de menos de 1,000 pies de la zona escolar o de daycare.
State, are you okay if I split the bonds?
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to hang up on my daily spam caller. They don't leave me alone. It's terrible. They call me every hour. All right. Count 1. So, it's within 1,000 feet of the school. So, okay. Count 1 will be $10,000. Count 2 is $2,500, and count 3 is $2,500.
Entonces, cargo número 1 será $10,000, cargo número 2 será $2,500 y cargo número 3 serán $2,500.
With a Nebbia,
Plus the Nebbia requirement.
Más el requisito Nevia.
Next is F26-7477 from November 6th.
Siguiente es F26-7477 del día 6 de noviembre.
I mean, he's selling 2 grams of cocaine, State. I mean, do you care if I set it a little lower?
Requesting the standard. There's multiple cases. He's charged with the trafficking. He's done 3 years in prison also for trafficking.
Count 1 is, sorry, let her interpret, pardon me.
Entonces, él vendió 2 gramos de cocaína. La fiscalía está de acuerdo que yo reduzca la fianza. Bueno, teniendo en cuenta los múltiples cargos y de tráfico y además que ya había estado en la cárcel por tráfico 3 años.
Could you do a total of $7,500, Truth?
Puede hacer total $7,500.
No, I'll do a total of 10,000 maybe. Count 1 is 75. Count 1 will be $5,000. Count 2 is $2,500 and count 3 is $2,500.
Entonces, en total serán $10,000. Cargo número 1, $5,000. Cargo número 2, $2,500. Y cargo número 3, también $2,500.
That's plus the Nebbia requirement. You have to show the money used to post the bond is from a legitimate source of funds.
Y eso es más el requisito Nebbia. Usted debe demostrar que con el dinero que paga la fianza, ese dinero viene de unos recursos legítimos.
The next case is from April 9th of 2026. There's probable cause for the charges of selling cocaine within 1,000 feet of a preschool.
Y el siguiente cargo es del día 9 de abril de 2026. Hay motivo fundado y es vender drogas de menos de 1,000 pies de una zona preescolar.
Count 1, I'll set that at $5,000. Count 2 is $2,500. Count 3 is $2,500.
Cargo número 1, $5,000. Cargo número 2, $2,500. Y cargo número 3, $2,500.
That's plus a Nebbia requirement as well.
Y además el requisito Nebbia.
All right, sir. Have a good day.
Que tenga buen día, señor.
Next, we have on page 6, Evan Grimes.
He received a $1,000 bond on his reckless driving.
ROR on count 1, Judge.
Which one?
1.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Grimes. You were arrested for armed possession with intent to sell cannabis and fleeing and eluding a police officer. I will appoint the public defender's office for you. So you want me to ROR count 1?
Yeah, because it just says a green leafy substance, I think.
Okay, so count one should be release outright if there's no probable cause, right?
It's fine.
Count one, release outright, no probable cause. Count two, there is probable cause for fleeing and eluding a police officer. I'm gonna set that bond, it should be at a high speed. It should be a second-degree felony. I'll leave it at $2,500. I recognize he's 18. So it's a $2,500 bond for count two, sir. Good luck to you. Next, Marlon Bateman, page 7. Good afternoon, sir. You were arrested for possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. I will appoint the public defender's office for you. So it looks like he also has several warrants out of South Carolina and Georgia. Is he going to be on the warrant calendar tomorrow?
I don't know if they're extraditable.
I don't have anything for Mr. Bateman other than this case.
Okay, there's probable cause of possession of a firearm. I'm sorry, possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. He had a machete, 13 to 16 inches. Bond is $7,500. Good day, sir. Next is Edre Acosta.
Bond out.
Bond out. Liam Levy, he is back for.
He refused.
He refused.
You said it one more time?
Yes, please.
This is a bond out, right? So reset it for tomorrow for Levy. Mm-hmm. We have Fernando Fuentes.
Present.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You got arrested for depriving an officer of means of protection, criminal mischief, and battery. Sir, are you able to afford to hire a private lawyer?
No, state attorney.
All right. Do you own your home?
No.
I'll appoint the public defender's office for
So I
you.
think count one should be tampering, and count two, I don't think there's a value.
Right, so there's probable cause for tampering with the victim, criminal mischief, no value, and battery. You are ordered to stay away from the alleged victim. Your mother, Yusneli Fuentes. No contact with the alleged victim, either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing.
All right,
Telephone
I'm back.
or through third parties. No contact with the victim through social media or other electronic means. And you must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim, her home and school and place of employment at all times. Do not engage in any criminal activity. Do not use or possess illegal drugs. And do not use, purchase, possess, or carry a firearm, gun, weapon, or ammunition. You must immediately surrender any firearms, ammunition, and any concealed weapons permits to the nearest police department and file a receipt with the court. And you may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of your release from jail. You must be accompanied by a police officer so that you can retrieve your personal clothing, health items, medication, personal and business-related paperwork, and work tools. If you go to the victim's home without the police, or if you stay there, you will be arrested. Do you understand the stay away order, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you're saying the victim's the mother?
What?
That's what it says
Ah,
here.
what?
No, it looks like it's a sister because if you look at the page on the second page, she was replaced for her safety due to her brother's actions and behavior. So it looks like the alleged victim.
It says mom and disturbance between mom or her daughter filed a report for the domestic violences. Sister, stay away from your sister.
Yes.
So if she's living in a home, you gotta move out, okay?
No, I'm staying with her.
Anyway, I'll set a bond. Count one is the tampering with the victim, $1,500. Count two, criminal mischief, $150, and count three, battery is $1,000. Good luck to you, sir.
So for anybody that was wondering what happened with the parole board hearings, I thought there was one today, but it looks like they were having like some back end discussions in regards to revoking
Next is Jose Dorta.
board of parole hearings. You were not going to see anybody live in the flesh today, so maybe on this week coming up we'll have some more. So that's why I tuned over to
Dorchas or Dion?
Let me review for probable cause.
to Judge Mandy Glazer, if you will, straight out of Miami-Dade County.
Birth is on the second page.
Hey, thank you, Ricky. Highly appreciate that. Let me see. Where is my window at here? Let me see. I'm not sure how much longer this court's going to be going on for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for another stream right now while we figure out what's happening with this court. Oh, we got eviction court right now. We got the eviction docket. Oh, is this court ending already? Let me see. See what options we have for court.
So there's probable cause for battery on a person age 65 or older. The victim itself, the defense,
68.
I know.
And it looks like the alleged victim
started it.
was the one that challenged them to come down. So it looks like it was some sort of mutual incident. Apparently the son is here and the bondsman is here, Judge. Is there any way you would consider setting a bond?
They live, I think, what are they? Neighbors, right? I want a stay away order.
Could modify it. I don't know how many feet they live away. Could modify.
But we would need the defendant here to explain the stay away order.
How many feet you want it to be? I'll put it on the stay away order now.
This is Miami-Dade, Florida.
So I could just put the amount of feet you want.
And the maximum your honor is willing to do.
What did you live right across the street? 10 feet. They're a local state.
Would you do 10 feet, Judge?
Oh, guys, we can ask who's on the phone.
I believe his son is here.
Yes, his son.
If his son can raise his hand or the bondsman can raise their hand, we can find out from the son.
Is anybody, can they respond or no?
Right and right bondsman? Oh, they were here. They've logged out.
Right.
If the son of Mr. Dorta is here, the one like the Spanish interpreter for you'll see. I'll promote him, Judge. Oh, there we go.
This is going to be Miami-Dade County. Dade County, if you will, in Florida. This is Judge Glazer. Let me zoom
Sir,
on. Let me zoom on
how
out.
far away do you live at your father's house from the victim's house?
Hola, can I speak in Spanish, please?
Okay. How far away is Mr. Dorta's house from the victim's house?
Señor, ¿a qué distancia vive señor Dorta de la casa de la víctima?
Lejos. Yo quiero explicar.
He said far.
La víctima vino a la casa de Dorta.
I want to explain.
Lejos, vive como
he lives far.
Del otro lado del barrio.
He lives in the other side of the hood.
Dos casas, hay que regresar.
There's two houses.
Muy lejos de nosotros vive la víctima.
Very far away from the victim.
Lives far away. The victim came to Dorta's house. But the victim lives 2 houses away and far away from Duarte's house.
Discúlpame,
Excuse me.
discúlpame, lo que es.
Excuse me.
So, te explico.
Let me explain.
Compartimos patio
We
con
share-
patio, pero
we
para
share
la
a-
casa tiene que darle toda la vuelta a la cuadra.
We share the patio, but in order for you to get to
I
their
will
house, you got to go
explain
around the
better.
block.
So we share the patio, but in order to come to the house, you have to go around the block.
They share a patio.
¿Comparten el patio?
Hay una cerca muy alta que no nos vemos las caras. Y ella dio la vuelta, corrió toda la cuadra y vino a ofender a mi padre frente a la casa.
There's like some bushes that divide the
There's high
houses.
probability we don't see each other face to face, but
She ran around the block.
She got angry and she came all the way around the house in order to offend my father.
Esa persona le dijo a mi papá que le juraba que ella lo iba a mandar que lo iba a mandar a prisión algún día.
She said
Vino
that-
frente de la casa a ofender para que él saliera de la casa.
I told my father that this person will send him to jail one day because she came around, she walked around the house and she came
What
to
up, Steph?
offend my father.
Mi padre está operado de corazón abierto y
Damn,
tiene cita con el cardiólogo
my dad
mañana,
had a open heart
y nunca ha
surgery.
tenido problema con nadie.
He's going to the
Solamente con ella,
cardiologist
que le
tomorrow.
prometió que lo iba a mandar para la prisión.
But she promised that she was going to send my father to
had
prison.
an open heart surgery and he will have his appointment tomorrow. So he never had any issues with nobody else, only with that person. And that person told him directly that she will send him to jail.
To prison, not to jail, to prison.
Mi padre tiene.
Mrs. Lori, can we deal with this tomorrow?
No,
Thank
today.
you for letting us know. Can you try and come back tomorrow? Maybe
No.
they can get your father to appear in court on Zoom.
Señor, muchas gracias por comparecer, pero usted puede comparecer, conectarse mañana también. Van a tratar de que su padre se conecte a través de Zoom.
This is the interpreter right here.
Nosotros estamos preocupados por la salud de mi padre y que no está ahí hoy.
They're very worried about the dad's
Yes, and we are worried
health.
about the health condition of my father and that he is not here today.
Mi papá toma más de 7 medicamentos.
He
y no
takes
sabemos
more
si
than
los estará
7
dando.
My
medications.
father is taking more than 7 different medications, and we are not sure if they're giving all these medications to him.
Su corazón funciona 32%, dicho por el cardiólogo.
Damn, he only has 32% functionality of his heart.
Cardiologist said that his heart
Damn.
works only 32%.
That's all bad.
You said Jackson, right? He's in Ward D Corrections.
I'm not
Nunca
no
mi
heart
padre ha tenido problema
specialist.
con nadie, jamás en la vida, en los 70 años que tiene.
Damn, he's
My
70
father
years
never
old.
had an issue with anyone in his life, and he is 70 years old.
Okay. He's 68.
Discúlpame.
Él,
68.
Discúlpame.
68.
I apologize.
All right, let's reset it for tomorrow, Ms. Corey. Maybe you can get the hospital to appear.
The hospital?
Judge.
This was in the
Entonces
hospital?
Vamos a aplazar el caso para mañana y a ver si el hospital puede conectarse también.
Mr. George, if you can come back around 9:30 tomorrow, the same Zoom hearing?
10 maybe. I don't know how long it's going to take.
Mira, esa persona está diciendo hoy mismo que ganó porque mandó a mi padre al hospital mientras que ella está en su casa tomándose una cerveza.
The person that
This person
pressed
today
charges
said
against
that
my
she
dad.
won because she sent my father to the hospital while she is at home drinking beer.
No, for you to come to court tomorrow.
Hopefully it was a medalla.
Usted tiene que regresar al tribunal mañana. I apologize for the interpreter. What time? 9:30 or 10?
9:30, I guess.
Señora, a las 9:30 sí puede regresar al tribunal mañana.
Ok. ¿Yo puedo ir en persona o tiene que ser por Zoom?
Yeah, come in
Do I
person.
need to come in person or can I connect?
Por
by
favor,
Zoom?
come in person.
Zoom está bien.
No, come in person.
Ok, dígale a la jueza que me disculpe, pero que realmente estamos muy preocupados por mi padre, por eso es que he insistido, que me perdone.
I apologize, Your Honor. I just wanted to let you know that we are worried and I'm sorry for that.
I understand. Hopefully you'll
Entiendo.
deal with it tomorrow. So this for the record, I'll appoint the public defender's office.
Thank you, Judge.
Entiendo eso. Espero que podremos resolverlo mañana. Y
Sounds
también
like
con las
a
actas,
neighborhood
nombro a la
dispute
Defensoría Pública
turned
para el
into
All right, reset for tomorrow. Thank you.
something
Entonces,
ugly.
se aplaza para el mañana. Gracias.
Those are the worst. Living next to people you don't get along with.
Charge. We'll waive his presence.
Appoint the public defender's office, waive presence. There's a probable cause.
How many of you guys have neighbors you guys don't get along with?
I'll set the
It's
bond
horrible
at
living like that.
$1,500.
Can't live like that.
What do you want to do with this case I passed? Nobody came down.
Judge, if nobody came down, if we can just set it in division tomorrow so they can resolve it.
What do you want to do, $1,000 bond?
No. So do you want to hold so that he can see the judge tomorrow, or do you want to just reset in division?
Yeah, well, I'd like to have them go to division tomorrow so they can.
Can corrections do that?
Yo no puedo,
You're
Sal-
good, sir.
no hay posibilidad de una fianza y mañana yo lo llevo a las 9 de la mañana.
Is there any chance to set a bond and I will bring him tomorrow at 9 a.m.?
No, sir, can't do it.
Okay, that's a serious
No,
job.
señor, no puede
Yes,
hacerlo.
Your
I'll
Honor.
come tomorrow.
Okay, I do see a history of
Tiene que
alcohol.
regresar mañana.
Ms. Corey, what do you want to tell corrections? What do you want on the jail card?
I'd like to see if we could have the clerk set them in division
So I'll
tomorrow.
do $1 bond and set it in division.
A dollar bond.
Will that, will
I'll
that-
buy that for $1.
$1 with the hold? Sure. Then I'll
Okay.
get a division
Okay, that's fine.
for court tomorrow.
Doing the felony hold, they gotta see him. Who's the judges?
All fields.
Damn, love bug.
But he has to add it on the order and nobody came down. Do a whole division judge.
Right.
Okay.
So it's $1 bond. All right, we're all set. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
I'll buy that
I'm
for
jealous.
Thank you,
Sorry.
everyone.
You earned it though. It's
you.
a rough day. All right, I'll see you Tuesday.
Rough a day, you say.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Rough day.
Video, we're finished.
All right. There it is. Judge Glazer is signing off for the day. Gonna have to wait till tomorrow. So, hey, I wish.
Recording stopped.
Hey, 33%. I'm not no mathematician, and I'm not no heart surgeon, but that definitely sounds bad. It sounds like he has like 1.5 foot in the grave already. That's you need your heart. It's like there's things that you could live without with, but a heart's definitely not one of those things. I could imagine like he probably gets up and he could probably only walk like maybe like 2 steps, and he's already probably like winded already by the time he gets to wherever he's going. You know, I went through my thing. It was nothing like any heart problems, but man, when you lose functionality of your lungs, everything's difficult. Everything, man. I remember getting out of the car was a struggle for me. Being on a walker is definitely no fun. Let me see what's going on. That's right. What's good. Did he get bond? Nah, so he's coming back tomorrow. So you're gonna have to come back tomorrow to see to follow up on any updates on that gentleman right there. But it definitely piqued my interest right there. I might have to log in tomorrow. We're gonna definitely have to log into to Miami-Dade County Court tomorrow. We're still holding strong. That's right. I'm in nursing school. That's not good. And that this stress took 20. Damn. Yeah, you're probably right. You are probably right. Damn. Hey, that's one thing. That's one thing in this life that you gotta definitely take care of. You gotta take care of your health, because that's it. Once your health is shot out, that's it. Forget about it. Hey, what's up, Nikki? How's it going? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing a lot better than I was back in December. I'm doing way better than I was doing in December, January, February, even March. I feel way better. Hey, what's up? What's up? Happy go lucky. Damn, where you been at? Damn, talking about MIA. Sheesh. Hey, what's up at 916? All right. I see some of the OGs are coming back into the fold, if you will. It be like that sometimes. It be like that. Let me see. I wonder where you went. Glad you're feeling better. Yeah, I went through some medical issues and whatnot. Some unforeseen medical complications, if you will, that were pretty much out of my hands. Sometimes you go to have these procedures. You think it's gonna be wham bam, and I'm gonna be home like in 30 minutes. And sometimes things like that don't happen. You end up on life support, fighting for your life. And pretty much is out of your control. Luckily I was able to make a recovery. But not everybody that goes through things like this is able to recover. But shit, I did that. I got a job working with the homeless. Hell yeah. Hey, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Will you be live tomorrow? Hell yeah. So I will be on tomorrow. And then after that, I won't be back until I'm gonna take a few days off because I gotta go to work. I gotta work Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Damn, I know. Damn, you're working on the weekends, James. I got no choice. These medical bills are piling up. They're piling up something ugly. So I'm picking up the full 40. I work 10 hours a day. So I could do my full 40 in 4 days. So I'm working, let me see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Then I'm going to be off for a few days, and then I'll be back Friday. So during the week, I'll be able to be on, I think, like Tuesday, Wednesday. I got a doctor's appointment on the 22nd, which is Tuesday, with the doctor that saved my life. So see what he has to say. He's going to check up on whatever I've been going through. So hopefully it'll be good news, and I don't need any more procedures. What the heck? No, glad you're okay. Hell yeah, flush the medical bills. So my wife recently was checking the bills, and the hospital is charging my insurance over $600,000 for those 3 weeks that I was in the hospital. You miss my prayers. Goes, oh man, I needed all the prayers that I needed, back then. I definitely went through a lot. If anybody has ever been through something medically like that in their life, where they almost didn't make it, I can definitely relate to that. It's a horrible, traumatic, eye-opening experience, if you will. What time is it now? It's 12:53. Well, hey guys, pay $1. Hey, I wish I was trying to get them down to $20 a month. They didn't want to. As a matter of fact, I gotta call them up right now because I got some more bills. Right, I'm paying $50 a month for the next 187 months, if you will. That's gonna be like they're gonna get their money, but they're gonna have to wait for those co-pays because I'm not gonna pay them just like that. I haven't worked in I was off of work for 90 days, so that's 6 paychecks that I missed. So you guys already know, if you guys are struggling out here, you guys know most of us are 1 paycheck away from disaster. I missed 6 paychecks. So I'm in the negative already. Let me see. Where you send 20 and they take it and have to always take the 20. Yeah, I'm set up now. This hospital that I'm dealing with, I called them. I was like, hey, you know what? I gave them the whole sob story. They don't want to hear that. They just want to get paid. So I was like, man, look, the maximum I could pay, because right now my co-pays, I think I'm up to like 5,000, 5, 6. It's probably 7,000 now with the recent surgery I had. And they were like, nah, we could only do X amount. I was like, man, well, all I got is 50. Either take it or leave it, or whatever. Let me know what you guys want to do. And then she reached out supposedly to her supervisor, and her supervisor said it was cool, but they're not. I have this other hospital bills from a few years ago that they're willing to take $20 a month for the next 87 months. So and are you in California? And California is freaking expensive too. I don't live in California anymore, but when I did live in California, it was so expensive that I couldn't live on my own. I couldn't afford to live on my own. That's how bad it was. Let me see. Maybe we all can. Nah, it's cool. Happy go lucky. We'll figure it out. I'm not here to ask you guys to for money or whatever. I'm here to help you guys laugh or whatever, because I know everybody's going through stuff. So I'm not here for that. Let me see. Depending on your income, most hospitals have a financial. You know what? I know I gotta apply for it. I don't think I'll qualify for it, but I'm still gonna try. They're gonna say I make too much. I make too much money. Damn. It doesn't feel like it, especially since especially as soon as I get my paycheck and money's gone already, or else I would be homeless. Hell yeah. I feel that right there. Okay, thank you, Chris. Appreciate you guys. I know some of you guys have asked, like, hey, can I send you some DoorDash, or can I? Nah, I appreciate the gesture. I appreciate the gesture, but spend it on yourself, spend it on your families. We can help, and you can't say no. You can't help. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I do appreciate you guys. For those of you guys that offer, I appreciate it. But we'll figure it out. That's a lifetime of money. I don't think. Hey, you're absolutely right. I am Jax. I don't think I've ever made. I don't even think in my whole lifetime I've made over $600,000 in my life yet. Hey, you can pray. Hell yeah. I'll take the prayers if you will. You're becoming family. Hey, gracias. Gracias, Erica. Highly appreciate you. But yeah, it's already coming to that time of the day. I'm going to take a break. I got to get ready. I got to go pick up my daughter. She's about to get off of school. I told her I dropped her off today and I'm picking her up today. These last 3 days since I've been working, I haven't been able to drop her off or pick her up. But today and tomorrow I am going to pick her up. And I love picking her up because she's funny. I love seeing her, coming up to me and, doing daughter stuff, if you will. Can't tell you, happy go lucky. Can't tell you, my boy. Let me see, I love watching YouTube about NHS. You guys are so lucky. Urzel tampoco. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you, happy go lucky, man. Appreciate you. Can't tell you. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it going. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it pushing. I do appreciate you guys. Hey, I am Collect Call James. You guys are watching. You have a collect call from. And like I say around here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it slice out. And with that, hey, if you guys really want to help me out, check out that video I just posted up about gas, pumping gas on Costco. That would definitely help me out. Drop a comment and repost if you will. Maybe I can make some money off of a TikTok if you will. That's where I really want to make my money from. I want to be able to make money off of TikTok, not off of you guys sending me money. That's not what I'm here for. But I do appreciate you. You guys want to help me out? Do that for me. Drop a comment, hit a follow. Remember, hitting the follow button is free. Doesn't cost you a dime if you will. Anyhow, hey, with that being said, I'm out. All right, you guys have a good one. Rato. Damn, I've been on for 3 hours. Jeez, I gotta go walk my legs off. Let me see. I gotta go ahead and cut this last stream here. Next court's gonna start up at 2 o'clock, so that'll be an hour and 1 minute. And I'll send you guys over to that stream. I appreciate you, the 22 individuals watching this stream. I see there's not that much activity in the chat, but for those of you that did drop some comments, highly appreciate you. For you guys that are just watching and lurking, I appreciate you guys too. That definitely helps out. If you guys wouldn't mind, hitting the thumbs up. Remember, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I know we're all doing bad, but it's free. It's free for you. It's free for me. And with that being said, I'm out. A rato.